Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Help Action, where a bunch of us friends, this wonderful group of friends, gets to play D&D live for you every Wednesday for charity. Today, we're just going to kick it straight into kind of a pressing matter that I think that we all want to talk about. If you'd like to, Robin, go ahead and talk about the additional charity that we're supporting tonight.
Yeah. As y'all may know, it's been a real normal one today. And so in addition to the Transgender Law Center, which we normally raise money for, we are also going to be raising money for Bread for the Free, which is a DC-based charity that basically helps low-income citizens with things like healthcare, food stamps, food security, all of the things that people are struggling with the most, especially in a pandemic. And so they've been really important to residents in DC this year, last year. So if you have a few dollars you want to kick their way today, I think today would be a good day to do that. And we'll be dropping links in the chat regularly for that one, as well as for the Transgender Law Center. So we appreciate y'all. If you or any of your loved ones are in DC today, just take care of them and be extra sweet to them today.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know if I tried to set up an automatic timer so that we would have that link and some information about that charity posted in chat every now and then. I'm not 100% sure that it's working, so I just went ahead and manually pasted in a little bit of quick blurb about it and the link to donate. So if you can, and you would have even just a couple bucks to spare, it's a great spot to be able to help. And also, if you do and you would like for us to give you a little bit of a shout out or something at the end of the stream, please DM our mod, which is Exploding High, here in chat, and we'll make sure that we give you a thank you and a shout out for your donation. We don't have any way to verify those, so it's just honor system, but yeah. Aside from that, Iris, would you like to lead us off into social? And then Nero, right after that, you can talk about the rest of our schedule for the next couple sessions.
Sounds good. Social media, we have them. In addition to this Twitch page right here that you're watching, which if you haven't subscribed right now and hit that little bell to notify you of when our streams are, I would suggest you do that. We also have a website, thehelpaction.com, that provides handy links to all of our different sort of home bases on the web, including our YouTube page where you can watch past episodes in VOD form. We have Twitter @thehelpaction, where you can subscribe and follow us to get notifications on your timeline of when we're updating, as well as other developments, such as, say if we're donating to an additional charity this time, which we are. Is that it for the? We have an Instagram too. Instagram, yes. Right. That magical website that only works decently on your phone. You can check that out as well. And we've got a whole bunch of fun stuff on our Instagram too. I believe that is also @thehelpaction. Plenty of ways to follow along with your favorite D&D charity podcast stream thing. Yeah. I can't tell whether we should call this a podcast or a stream or just a internet television show or what.
Parasocial bonanza.
Yes.
I would love to someday podcast format our past episodes and try to get them up and running. Hopefully our recording audio quality is good enough to do that. And then last but not least, of course, Nira, if you want to talk about just our schedule for the next couple sessions.
Yeah. I really should add a widget to the website for this. So we, as you all probably know, because you're all very smart, every episode is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. This is true for next Wednesday, but not true for the 20th and the 27th. But we'll be back in February. We're just taking a quick little 2-week break to recharge our dungeon batteries and our dragon batteries, and then we can put them together and play a game.
Yeah, that dragon takes some of those big D cell batteries.
That's right.
So
Like
hard to find
mine
those
for one.
CVSs anymore.
No. Is there anything else that anybody would like to talk about to sort of kick off our? I guess this is our first episode of the year, so that's kind of exciting. And
Oh,
wow,
episode
yeah.
8.
Hey.
2021. It's this year now.
It is
Dang.
this year now.
Yeah. What are we gonna do different on the stream this year? I vote we should get a Foley artist.
Ooh,
That would be
there
cool.
we go.
We should have at least one person just standing off to the side in the Skype call, like clopping coconuts together for horses and like.
Oh yeah, all
nothing
analog,
gravel.
all manual.
Oh, yeah.
Just
All I'm saying is I'm okay with a little bit of double duty.
No, that is the most bard thing that you could possibly say.
Foley bard. Has anyone done that yet?
You have to play the trumpet down.
Yeah, the Foley bard.
I'm into it.
I play the celery stalk. I grab it, and it sounds like we're growing up vines.
Okay, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our recap from the last couple episodes. So the gang had made their way to this small mining town of Vandelver, where they discovered that the town was beset upon by this group of rambunctious and troublesome individuals known as the Red Brands. They were sort of causing problems after checking into their inn and finding out that they were doing more than just causing problems. They were killing people, taking people in their sleep, stealing people from their homes, causing pretty severe issues for the people in town here. The party decided that they wanted to do what they could to explore the town and find where this group of people was hiding and do what they could to eliminate the threat that they posed. So, making their way into the cellars and the crypts beneath this old crumbling manor known as Tresendar Manor, the party was able to identify that the Red Brands were indeed working from there, and after defeating a few of them and some skeletons and finding some of the captives that the Red Brands had been holding hostage, they were able to release them, bring them back to the surface, get a good night's rest at the inn, and then dive back in to the Tresendar crypts to continue their exploration. After finding a section of the wall that could be pushed aside as a secret door, they found their way from these crypts underneath the house into this natural large cavern. Let me rewind for a moment. As they slept that night, Bree had an interesting dream where she met this strange three-eyed, jagged-beaked owl in this ethereal forest that, as she approached, spoke to her in a strange voice about this. Basically gave a very long metaphor for nature and its unemotional and detached and utterly neutral state of being, and that all things receive equal treatment. It bade Bree to seek out those who would disrupt that balance of nature and to strike them down with impunity, so it said. So waking up the next day, the party ventured back into the crypts and found the captive that they had left in one of the cells to rot. One of the men that they had discovered was a slaver, and decided to, just leave him be. He gets what he deserves. Then you ventured beyond the false wall into this large natural cavern where you found this deep crevasse, about 20 feet deep, 10 feet wide, that ran through the center of the chamber with a few small footbridges over the top of it. As you made your way into the chamber, you felt this strange presence on your mind that felt like it was causing the group of you to delve into memories that otherwise would not have been triggered or thought of in a space like this, like something was probing around. Ambrose then heard a strange voice in his head that began asking for the book he carries in his satchel, which he knows to be in some way related to to magic and that it contains some sort of magical arcane knowledge, but unsure exactly of its contents yet. Then Oleander heard a similar voice, requesting something in her satchel that belonged to Master. You continued to explore. Glass came face to face with this horrible, small, wretched, spiky creature with a single massive green eye and sharp teeth that then spoke telepathically to the entire group and identified itself as a servant of its master, who was Glassstaff, the leader of these red brands. Found out that this creature wanted magic items and that it was obsessed with arcane knowledge, thanks to a very, very high history check by Ambrose, knowing about these creatures, and that because Ambrose knew so much, he also knew that you should avoid this creature in combat. So, deciding to parlay with it instead, you decided to give it the invisibility potion that you had found from Oleander's bag, and leave it as it were. As you continue beyond where this creature hides deep within its crevasse and lurks in this sort of natural cave, you enter an area that is once again man-made and begin to descend downstairs into a lower section of these crypts. That's where we pick up. So,
Oh, goodness, I'm sorry.
bless you. Wow, if you held that the whole time, I'm impressed.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, as we pick up, there is the cavern behind you, cold with that fetid breeze that smells faintly of dead flesh upon its coldness against your skin, and also behind you is the Nothic, the creature that you had parlayed with. Somewhere in the distance, you cannot hear it or see it, but some of you, the more perceptive those of you, can still feel its presence very softly pressing against the edges of your mind. Before you, you see stairs that lead down into darkness. Pull up a map for everybody. See this okay?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, I'd pulled you back a little ways, Bree, just to show the rest of the cavern that you had just been in and
Sure.
refresh your memories. But as you make your way over to these stairs and down them, I believe it was you leading, correct, Oleander, or was it someone else?
I think so.
With your torch held high as you descend the steps, there's only about 10-15 feet of steps that descend almost an equal distance vertically. As you push forward, you realize that the hallway comes to a dead end, and on either side of this hallway before you is a door. Both doors are wooden with simple hinges and simple iron handles. Which direction would you like to go?
Can I press my ear to the doors and check to see if there's any sound coming from either of them?
Sure. Which door would you like to check first?
Can I check the left one first?
Sure. So the southern door, correct?
Yeah, the southern one.
Can I run up and join her? Do that.
Yeah, if
too?
you want to check the northern one, I'll check the southern one.
Sounds good.
I know the map doesn't allow for that kind of space, but two people can fit
it
within
works.
5 feet.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I can figure it out in my brain.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a perception check, I assume?
Perception, please. Yes.
That's going to be an 8 from me.
An 8. Okay.
Uh,
And then for you, Glass, checking
Twen-
the northern door. I'll take care of yours first, Oleander.
21.
21. Okay.
Wow.
The northern door's a closet. Southern door. You both know it. So we don't know
Oleander,
about.
as you lean your ear up against the door, it's hard to hear much here, especially with your heart pounding in your chest, just after narrowly escaping the creature behind you and not knowing what's ahead. But you can certainly hear, even in your hurried and anxious state, raucous voices coming from behind this door. They sound like they're jeering, some of them laughing, and then there's quiet for a moment. Subtle conversation, and then bits of angry voices. It's hard to tell exactly what they're saying, but what you can pick up just from sort of the intonation of the voices is that they sound relaxed, at times somewhat jubilant, and at other times angry. And you hear intermittent laughter and shouts of anger back and forth. There's a distinct sense of almost like a relaxation, a party, a jubilation of sorts, but no more than a few voices.
Can I tell what language they're speaking in?
It's certainly common. You can catch. Go ahead and make one more perception check for me, really fast, if you would, please. Give you advantage on this since you are just sitting and waiting for a while.
That's going to be a 16.
16. You catch. You gonna deal me in, or? No, I ain't betting that high. I fold. Ah, shit, you got me.
So they're gambling back here. Okay. Glass, what do you hear behind that door?
Glass, as you sort of hunker down and press your ear to the wood, you realize the wood's probably not going to give you that much, and you lean down to where the handle is and find a small keyhole. You can't see any light coming through it, but as you do press your ear to it, you hear almost nothing. You're catching even more of this sort of raucous sound from the other room than you are from this one, but you do hear a very, very faint, small sound of movement, whether that be just the stones settling, or a faint breeze, or something else small shuffling about. You're unsure, but aside from that, it seems quiet.
Just since you said I looked through the keyhole, I do have dark vision. Can I see?
Make one more perception check for me, this time with disadvantage, because it is just a keyhole.
Sure. 13.
13. Peering through, you don't see any movement. It appears to be a small room, and beyond that, from the angle at which you're looking at it, it appears to be mostly empty.
It seems empty. I can't quite tell what's in there. It's dark. It doesn't sound full of folks like that, like your door, Oleander.
Yeah. If we
Does
wanna
seem
do
bigger than a closet. That is for certain, since I think one
Doesn't seem bigger than a closet.
It does seem much bigger.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're trying to be stealthy here, we should probably go north then, I suppose? Because if we go south, we're just going to run into these guys. But if you want to run into some guys, we can go south.
I think we should see what's beyond what's in here first.
Yeah, agreed.
Can I don't want to make too many rolls, but I guess I would want to check to see if it's trapped.
Make an investigation check while you're at the door. It'll all be part of the same sort of set of
I was
actions.
going to say after that I want to see if it's locked, but like,
That'll be included in that.
okay. 15.
The door does not seem to have any mechanisms that would trap it, and it does not appear to be locked. But the longer you stand there, the first time you listened, it was quiet, but you hear intermittent sort of almost like a bubbling sound from inside that comes and goes.
Oh, shit.
I think there might be something in here. I still think maybe we should go this way first, but
I hope it's food.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a
maybe
big glass of chocolate milk.
could be.
you mean my nemesis? I'm gonna have to fight Shadow Link in here.
Shadow glass is glass of chocolate milk. Oh god.
It's really early on for that fight. Yeah.
I don't even know myself yet.
It's like I'm you but stronger.
Yeah. That's not very strong. Okay,
Choice.
sorry.
Could be.
Amazing.
Boy, I'll look at everyone and put my my paw on the door. I'll
I get
Oh,
magic doing position here just in case you need to fire off a quick shot.
cool.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready your spell, you sort of feel the hum of the magic sort of begin to build in your own hands. As you
The drip.
swing the door open and look into a chamber where at first glance appears to be almost what we in modern days would interpret as sort of a garage or maybe a carpenter's shop. But as you look around, you see these strange alchemical vials and glass tubes, decanters, various areas that seem to be set aside for ingredients that sort of hang from the ceiling. And then you see a flash of movement out of one corner of your eye, and you see a small rat sort of skitter over. As you look into the room, you can see there's a large work table here that is set up with alembics, retorts, distillation coils, all the other sort of alchemical devices that you can imagine. And much of it is actively stewing and bubbling away. The sound that you had heard, you can see there's an area where there's a coil that continues to sort of fill and then bubble over into a small vial, producing this small, clear liquid in Oleander, for you, a very familiar glass vial.
Amazing. This looks like some kind of alchemical distillery for invisibility potion, like we saw back there.
Could I walk in and usher everyone in behind?
Sure.
Yeah, we can all come in.
Yeah.
In addition to the contents of the room, as you sort of quietly close the door behind you, you can see that on the eastern wall there is an additional door.
Yeah.
The rat. Go ahead.
Not my strong suit, but like any ingredients that look like recognizable to me at all.
There's a few. Make a nature check for me. Nature or Arcana. Anyone who's proficient in Arcana may do the same.
I am. Oh my god. That's gonna be a 6 for me. I'm sorry.
I got a 24.
Oh, okay.
Wizards
I
doing
was dying
wizard
there.
shit.
This looks
As much as I trip over a rock and fall down some stairs later.
wizard.
Yes.
And you got
16 nature check for me.
Okay. Give me just 2 seconds. I don't know why.
Should I get working on the holy?
It does sound just like that.
There's a rat going by.
You see you see a variety of leaves and such that are sort of dried and hanging from the roof. You recognize many of them as being medicinal, but you don't see any of them in use in the active sort of things that are being produced here. Ambrose, as you continue to look around, some of the first things that you spot is a small case, a small, looks like a maybe tin or iron case with its lid flipped open. Looks almost like a mint tin. And inside it are just dozens and dozens of tiny, tiny curved hairs that have been set there. And in addition to that, there's several jars, many of them just sort of very simple glass mason jars that are filled with what you recognize as gum arabic.
Can I swipe the tin of not mints?
Sure. As you pick it up and take a closer look at it, you now have a tin of eyelashes at your disposal.
Oh,
Feel like it's
well,
Can I get some of the gum arabic while I'm here and being disgusting?
Sure, it's easy. The jars aren't huge. It's easy enough to grab one and sort of
okay.
stuck it into your satchel.
Hell yeah, I love crime. Let's just steal stuff.
love crime.
if we're stealing things, is there enough invisibility potion distilled where I might be able to swap a decent amount of it, like a vial?
I'll look for healing.
As you look around and see if you can find anything that looks like it's completed, most of the processes here look like they're sort of dedicated to distilling individual ingredients.
Okay.
None of them quite look complete. And Ambrose, with your Arcana check that you had made a moment ago, you realize that whatever is set up here is very unlikely to have any sort of success. Looks like
This
they're
is
trying
sinister.
their best, but have not quite figured it out yet.
Some sad DIY action going on here.
Oh dear.
Got the crystals sitting on top of the honey jars, making
Ugh.
crystal honey.
Shameful, shameful.
Okay.
In addition to
Can
that,
I-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you mentioned a rat. Can I see the rat still?
Yeah, it's just sort of squeaking around on the floor, and at this point, as you all sort of stand there and gawk around and lean in and glance at some of these various glass containers, it makes its way up to you, Ambrose, and just sort of runs across one of your hooves, and then just sort of pulls up on its hind legs and looks up at you expectantly. Its whiskers twitch a bit, its nose wiggles, squeaks a small amount.
Choking down any fear that I may have had previously. Can I give this rat a snack?
Yeah,
I know
if you'd
we're-
like to.
I know we're trying to hide and everything, but I'm gonna feed him a little crumb.
In all universes, Nero is here to give rats snacks.
They deserve snacks.
As you reach into your bag and pull out just a small chunk of some of your rations and feed it to the tiny creature, it just sort of very happily picks it up in its little rat hands and chews on it and tucks it into one of its cheek and then skitters over to your foot, Oleander, and does the same thing, just sort of looks up at you.
All right. I get out a little snack and I give it to him too. How could I not?
Just sort of
What
grabs
is
it
it?
and
Glass staff.
Well,
At least he won't be hungry when we talk to him. Maybe he'll be in a good mood.
yeah.
There you go.
I'm sorry, but they found my weakness. I'm not going to not feed a cute little rat.
Yeah, Breed nods approvingly at this. Again, another long shot, but any chance I would know if are we 100% sure they're making potions in here, or are they trying to make bombs?
I think if it were bombs, there would be a lot less arcane stuff here.
It's
It seems like it's a little too complex for if there were bombs, they would probably be esoteric potion-based bombs. You know what I
We
mean?
would need some gunpowder, probably.
Yeah.
All
And
that
probably
I
some
know
black
is-
walls from failed attempts. Yeah.
Yeah.
using
all
your
I know is it's not potions.
using your first Arcana check to sort of identify the setup here, Ambrose. You are aware that the intention here is most certainly to brew potions and nothing reactive like an alchemist's fire flask or anything like that. It doesn't seem like any sort of caustic or chemicals that would react violently with each other. There's nothing in here that you can really think of that could cause that sort of reaction. It does just seem like they are working their way, however slowly and clumsily, through crafting potions of invisibility. There
Okay,
is
try.
a row of vials on one of the shelves that look exactly like the vial that you had given to the Nothic previously, Oleander. And underneath those vials, there is a stack of what appear to be books and notes.
All right.
Can I
Anybody
look
wants to
through the
grab
notes?
some notes? Yeah.
Sorry, everybody
I
at
can
once.
Yeah, I'd like to look through the notes, please.
Yeah, sure.
Will that be another Arcana check?
Do you read or can you speak Dwarvish?
No. I can speak Common, Draconic, and Infernal, which are two of the coolest languages, but I can't speak Dwarven.
As you flip the book open and you see that sort of almost heavy-handed calligraphy that you know to be reminiscent of Dwarvish script, you just sort of close the book again, knowing that whatever secrets it holds, they aren't in a language that you understand. Does anybody here speak Dwarvish?
No.
Ambrose, you're smart and not tall.
Wow.
Excuse you. 2, no, I don't.
Oh. Not intended as a knock. I'm just saying, maybe.
I appreciate the thought, but no, I'm just common, elvish, halfling, and sylvan.
Whoa. Funny.
While this is going on, can I go and take a listen through the other door, see if I hear anything else?
Sure. You sort of walk over to the other door, and they sort of are flitting through the stacks of papers and books there. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, if you will.
And if there's a keyhole, I'll look through that too. 8.
8. You sort of press your ear to the door, and it's quiet for a moment. Then you hear a shuffling noise, a creaking, another creaking, and then a...
Can I jump away from the door?
Sure.
I will do that.
You back away from the door. Nothing seems to happen.
Well, I heard something over there.
Should we all back into the shadows, maybe?
Are there hiding places? Could we hide behind the desk? All of us?
I'd love to try.
I think if there's someone on the other side and they think there's one person in here, they will act differently than if there's 4 of us.
It's very true.
Yeah. I'm gonna just like silently like put my finger to my lips to everybody, and I'm gonna open the door that we came in through and like make some like sauce like I'm going out the door. And then close the door.
Just because
I
it's
will-
fun, make a performance check for me.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I don't know if
That's
there's gonna
a
be
flat.
bonus.
Yeah, that's 14.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of open and then shut the door and then make a bunch of sort of stomping sounds. You make it sound as if you're entering the room for the first time, as if you hadn't already been conversing relatively loudly in here and shuffling around.
I was hoping to make it sound like we had just left.
Oh, as if you had left. I understand. Sorry. Stomping
Yeah.
and then the door opening and shutting. Other way
Yeah.
around. Got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now as you all hunker down and remain quiet to see if the performance has stuck, what would you like to do?
Do we roll to hide? Or is it just...
Oleander, as you sort of take the papers and books that you were looking at and sort of slide them back onto the shelf that they were sitting underneath, you sort of bump a few of the bottles that are next to you on the table that looked as if they were empty, and they just very quietly tip over and roll onto the desk. They don't scatter or go anywhere, but you do notice that there are 3 of these same bottles that you had seen that are that do have contents in them.
Do they have invisibility potion in them?
Take him.
One of them looks like it has this almost molten silver metal in it. Another has this sort of deep green, viscous, goopy sort of liquid in it. Liquid's the wrong term for it. It has the consistency of, for lack of a better term, a loogie.
Ew.
Oh,
The worst.
hey, good DMing.
And the other one is full of this deep purple powder.
I would like to yoink these tubes for later.
Okay. You have 3 mystery vials.
Let me just add
Cool.
that to my list.
I'm going. I don't know. I'm gonna pull out my bow and aim an arrow at this other door on the east side.
Okay.
And wait.
It's me, Sildar.
There was a firefight. Yeah, as you knock your arrow and pull it, your hand begins to quiver. As you sit for a long time,
Okay.
begins to get tired. It appears that whatever movement you had heard on the other side of the door is no longer moving, or maybe they're able to wait out the silence longer than you are. You're unsure. Whatever it was is silent now.
I will continue in our pantomime, tiptoe up to the door, and motion that I'm going to open it.
Yeah.
Seemingly get the okay from Bree, and I will kind of open it from the other. It's not so long as it opens into the room. I think I would know.
It does open into the room. It is not locked. As the door, you sort of turn the small metal knob on it and snaps open, creaks into the room. You see before you a bedchamber. The walls of this bedchamber are covered with drapes of this scarlet cloth that reminds you instantly of the capes of the Red Brands. And the furnishings in this room include a small writing desk with a matching chair, a rather comfortable looking bed, and a wooden chest sitting at the foot of that bed.
Wow, okay. I'm gonna sneak up behind glass, and I know we had heard some kind of maybe movement in there before. I just want to look around and see if I see what that came from.
If you would like to, Glass, go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, or Bree, you can make one with advantage, or either of you can make a regular roll.
You do.
Okay.
This was just part of being the first person in the room, not that you had asked to do it. Sorry, I just hadn't gotten to say that yet.
21.
21. As you peer across the room, you look at the bed. The bed's covers are thrown back. You look at the desk. The chair is pushed out from it at an angle. The surface of the desk is mostly clean except for a few papers that litter the ground. You can see there's a pen that's still sort of rolling across the ground. And then in the far northeastern corner of the room, you see another section of the masonry where the bricks just don't quite fit together and have been left very, very slightly ajar, maybe only by about half an inch. But as you look over, you can see there is a significant dark gap sort of around the edge of these bricks. Just so I can mark it for you against this wall here, if you can see it in red.
Okay.
I will continue not speaking, but just kind of like point out those things that you just that I just noticed to Bree, and kind of look and maybe look back at Oleander and Ambrose and kind of usher them to
Peeking
the.
in around the corner of the door.
I'll have my drone pan out. There we go. Just get y'all up. Everybody wants to come into the room at this point, I assume.
Yeah.
I want to go see, go look at the papers on the desk.
Okay. You make your way up to the desk, and most of the desk looks like it's been cleared off, possibly in a hurry, as the only things that are left on it is an inkwell that's been tipped on its side, but it appears to be empty, so no ink is spilled, and a few papers that have fluttered to the ground, and a what looks like a quill pen that is on the ground and just very, very slowly sort of rolling in that sort of circle that like a conical pen makes. But as you sort of crouch down, there is the one paper on the ground. As you pick it up, it's folded three ways, almost like a letter would be. And as you unfold it, it is parchment that has been written upon in a very light cursive in a deep sort of crimson ink. The first thing that you notice is at the very bottom of the page is, excuse me, a large drawing of a spider in this red ink. And it seems to be sort of facing upward in the area where you would expect a signature to be. That is the largest, darkest section of ink on the page. Which is why it catches your attention first. But as you make your way to the top of this small section of text and begin to read, you see that it says, Lord Albrecht, my spies in Neverwinter tell me that strangers are due to arrive in Phandalin. They could be working for the dwarves. Capture them if you can, kill them if you must, but don't allow them to upset our plans. See that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on you, Iarno. Don't disappoint me.
Oh, shit.
That letter's about us. We're famous.
Isn't? Okay. Yarno was the name? Yarno?
That's correct.
Is this not the Missing Lords Alliance member that Sildar was talking about?
It is.
Bree's got a big brain.
Wait a minute.
And at the top of the letter, he was addressed as Lord Albrecht.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm beginning to wonder if the Lord's Alliance are maybe not entirely good people.
Yeah, we'll
So much we could say.
It's good to learn things.
What if is all I'm saying. That's a real twist. I didn't expect that coming.
I thought they
Why-
were.
Sorry.
I'm gonna run because it sure as hell seems like whoever was in here just skipped out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go listen at that wall with the weird masonry, the gap in the wall.
I, meanwhile, am going to get my rapier out and like go over under the bed and like wave around just because I'm like, this dude, like, invisibility potion. Who knows?
Okay.
True.
And then
Can I-
Oleander?
Can I check inside of the trunk at the foot of the bed?
Wait, let's make sure. As soon as I see Oleander go over, I would say, let's see if it's trapped. Which,
Let me see if that's trapped first.
Okay. Oleander, go ahead and make an investigation check as you make your way up to the chest.
Ooh, that's a 14.
14. You peer at the chest. You peer at the area where there is a small latch on the front. Doesn't appear to be locked, and there doesn't appear to be any mechanisms that you can see on the outside or around it that would indicate a trap.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna pop it open and see if there are any treats inside.
Are we
As-
all like whispering this?
Yes.
Treats.
As you pop that open, while at the same time, Bree, you rush over to the door and take a listen. I'll tell you what's in the chest, and then we'll do your listen at the door, and this will all be sort of happening simultaneously.
Sure.
So as you sort of pop the chest open, you look into it, and it looks like it has a pretty hefty amount of money in it. This looks like coffers of some sort, probably for this organization. There is also 2 scrolls, a silk pouch, and that's it. So two small scrolls of parchment, a wealth of coin, just sort of spread out among the bottom of the box, and then a small silk pouch that looks like it's full of various small objects. And as you sort of pick that up and begin to peek through it, Bree, go ahead and make your perception check at the door for me, if you would, please, to listen.
Yeah. 13.
You go to the door and quiet. There's a faint draft coming through the door, but otherwise it's quiet.
I wonder if this. I'm addressing this to the party.
Mhm.
I wonder if this just leads back out into the cavern.
That would make sense considering what we've seen so far.
Yeah. It may also just lead outside.
Yeah.
Maybe good to keep in mind as an exit strategy if we suddenly need to leave here very, very fast.
Yeah, I think.
Damn it. So, I know I'm always the one saying that we shouldn't give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think Sildar sold us out. How come they know we were coming here?
Shit. After all that trouble you spent to save him.
Or maybe something's maybe those dwarf brothers aren't missing at all.
I was trying to figure out why those notes were written in Dwarvish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even...
Let's be real here, though. Dwarves are a whole race of people. It's more than 2. But the townsfolk have not mentioned their. When we said dwarves, they said those 2 dwarves.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, they could be working together. The Rock Seekers could be working here against their will.
Why did they said take any Dwarvish maps from them? That letter,
Yeah.
right?
I think, yeah.
As you sort of open the letter and look at it again, just to confirm what was said, you read that it says, "See that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on you, Iarno. Don't disappoint me." And then again, where the signature is that drawing of a spider, while the message itself is penned in that deep red crimson ink. The spider itself is very, very black.
So
I'll
the
bet you
black spider, that's
Yeah.
that's got to be the guy holding onto Gundren.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like our B plot and our A plot are finally coming into the same plot.
Would I know anything about this spider drawing?
You can make a history check if you would like to.
Yeah. History for spiders. Oh dear. That's a 13.
Nothing really comes to mind. This doesn't look like a specific logo or anything like that you recognize. As far as you interpret it, it's a pictogram that's being used as a signature here.
Cool drawing of a spider. I hope there
Cool.
aren't
I
any
respect.
spiders.
As bad as this guy probably is, I do respect somebody who uses a picture of a spider to sign their name. That is
You would like that.
extremely cool.
I guess I just imagined too that the spider was a girl. I don't know. Am I the only person who's imagining that the black spider is a girl?
I mean, there's nothing really in this letter to gender the writer.
That is absolutely my fault. I, of all people, should be more woke about this kind of thing.
Look over position.
Yeah, Oleander, you are the most cultured of us.
That's not what I meant to, that's not what I was trying to say. Sorry.
No.
All this money, huh?
Awesome.
There's a lot of question marks here. It said my spies told them that we were coming, right? Headed to Phandalin.
Yeah.
Can I check some of these parchments that I found inside of the trunk?
Yeah, if you like to, as you sort of unroll them, each of them has just a very simple sort of bit of twine that wraps around them. They're not brittle with age, but looks like they've been sort of curled and cured in that position. But as you untie the twine and pull them apart, instantly you are aware that these are spell scrolls. They are covered in very, very intricate mathematical and alchemical and arcane formulae is the plural, I suppose.
I hand them to Ambrose.
Yeah.
These are your thing, not my thing.
Ambrose is the only literate person in the party.
Hey, I read plenty, okay? I just don't have to do magic.
That's cool. Me neither.
Would this be something I could use identify on, or would this be like a Arcana check? Or
I would say since it's the written word, you wouldn't need to use identify,
Okay.
especially considering that you are a wizard who does write your spells out in a similar manner. As long as they're using the same sort of shorthand and the same language as you are, you don't need to use a spell to identify it.
Okay. I want to figure out what these are.
Okay, make an Arcana check for me.
Ooh, I got a 20. And
Nice.
Then, that's a +6, so 26. But you know, 20.
As Oleander passes these to you and says, "All right, Ambrose, you take a look at these. You open them and you sort of fold one up and open the other and set them back, and you hand them back to Oleander and say, Charm Person and Fireball."
Yeah.
Nice.
I know one of those. It's not Fireball.
Yeah.
Well, since you're the person who uses magic through fancy book learning, did you want to hang on to these?
Yeah, sure. Just handing these back and forth to each other.
It's good.
This Fireball.
I've got my own source of power. It's fine. You go for it. And what's in the little silk bag?
Yeah.
The small silk bag there. Let's see. As you open it up, it contains 5 gemstones that look like they'd probably be worth about 10 gold each. These gems are known as carnelians. You're able to recognize them, especially due to your experience with the finer things in life. You also see two large, almost cut into cube-shaped paradots, and a single pearl. And this pearl is huge. It looks like it's worth about 100 gold.
All right. So, yeah, we're just going to take these. If that's okay with y'all, like these people are bad people, right?
That's fine. We can steal.
Okay.
We're good people. We can steal.
You did steal a box of eyelashes back there, so I'm going to say we can also liberate these extremely fancy and valuable jewels.
Listen,
I'm
alligators are more important than you
waving
think.
my rapier around the
I
bed.
thought it would be more important.
I'm like, yeah, steal it.
As you throw your rapier around under the bed, you do come into contact with something hard and metal that is under the bed. That as you sort of swipe from where the head of the bed to the foot of the bed is, you come into contact with it, and it knocks and skitters across the ground, coming out just next to where the chest is. Oleander, as you still sort of crouch over the chest, you see this small padlock just sort of slide to a
It's fine, I
stop in
found it.
front of you.
I mean, you can have it if you like. I don't know if the key's with it or anything.
The key is still in it.
Oh, well,
And it
there you
is
go.
open and unlocked, and
Free pad.
you take a moment to look at that and the chest, and it looks like this fits or would belong perfectly on the chest.
So it's unlikely that the person who owns this bedroom would have left this chest, considering how valuable its contents are, unlocked like this,
Yeah.
without being in the general vicinity. I think maybe
We gotta go through that door.
we gotta get through that friggin' door. Yeah, I think they can't have gone very far. What is it, Ambrose?
While we're standing here, is there any way that we can take this padlock and we can put it on the door and we can lock it?
The door that you had just entered through?
Yes.
Uh,
Just while we're standing here and like picking stuff up and like kicking dust around and waving knives and stuff.
Yeah. Fair.
yeah, there's a small area where normally you would slide a deadbolt over. But if you slide the deadbolt all the way over, it does leave 2 loops of steel that are sort of nailed into the door. You could slip the padlock through that. It doesn't seem like it's going to be particularly sturdy, but it'll slow people down for sure.
Yeah.
It's your prize, lads. So
Sounds great. Let's go over and do it. And proudly put the key back into my pocket.
Got it. You so
All
click
right.
the lock shut, got the key.
how much money is in this chest? Should we like take it and run?
Yeah, I thought Oleander already grabbed it all, but
Yeah.
Oh,
I can grab it and we can divvy it up later if you like.
yeah.
There's a lot of coins here, so you'd have to sort of scoop them up and put them in something if you wanted to really quick.
That's a lot.
Well, you know what? Here's what I say we do.
Hmm.
Why don't we take those parchments and these gems for now, and then if we defeat this guy or whatever the hell, we find out what's going on
We come
here.
back.
We can leave at our leisure. We can just take the whole chest with us. And if that's not an option, then we still have very many gems. I'd like to remind you all that we're doing fairly reasonably well on money right now, so we don't need to necessarily pick up $1 billion out of this thing.
I mean,
Just picks things up as soon as I see them. So
Well, if you'd like to,
pull out a fork from the inn that I still have in one pocket and like one of those little containers of butter.
pull out my
Little kleptomaniac.
skeleton.
Are you sure you're not a rogue?
I got napkins in my back pocket, so don't mess with me.
Okay.
Awesome.
What I'm saying is, like,
We'll be good. Yeah.
because we kind of lack any sort of reasonable thing to carry all this money in, I say we just leave it here for now and maybe come back for it later once we kind of are in a calmer situation.
Yeah, let's press onward.
Yes. I don't want to be like in all those stories you hear about where there's one moron clinging to a little branch in the side of a cliff with one hand and onto a big sack of money with the other, and then there's somebody at the top of the cliff going, "No, you gotta drop the money," and they're like, "No," and then they like slip and they fall, and the moral is, you idiot, you should drop the money. I don't want to be that.
I'm really glad that's the mental image you got, because the only one I was getting was like that person who shows up to the coin store or the coin star with all the change in their pockets and they just start pulling money out, putting it in the coin star.
3?
Anyways, okay. As
I've
you
taken
sort
your
of
hand
shut the lid on the
forward.
chest and decide to make your way out of this door, Bree, do you want to just go ahead and open it then and see what's on the other side here?
Yeah, I will open it slowly and peek out carefully.
Okay. As you push the door open and look into it, I just have to move your character so you can see. You find yourself... Oh, that unlocked the edge of the map, but that's fine. That's not actually an exit. That's just an error with the walls built into the map there. But you can see that there is a set of stairs that leads back up, likely to the level from which you had sort of entered the area. And at the top of the stairs is a small 5x5 foot platform, at the edge of which is the back of a similar hidden door that you can see next to you. So it looks like there is sort of a false wall, and this is like a small hidden staircase between 2 entry points.
Okay, gotcha. I'll go up the stairs and peek out the other door.
There we go. Closed. That's much better. Make your way up to the top and peek out this wall, and you find yourself back at the top of that natural cavern
Wow.
Oh, wow.
where you had
No,
been.
it all connects.
Well, we might have found a way to bypass that now invisible Nothic.
Hey, that's good.
They might be not invisible after all if looking at those that whole setup was anything.
Good point.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't actually try to use that invisibility potion because on second blush, it probably was pretty jank.
Yeah,
Get some eyelash poisoning.
make me invisible forever.
Oh no! How will I have to hug my children?
That would be a tall order for role playing the rest of the campaign. I wave at them, but
Here's our party member, a floating pile of clothes.
yeah, you go with the tape around the face.
Bree, as you make your way sort of to the top there and peek around and look into that dark chamber, you look in and you just hear a very faint, like, in your head that you recognize as the voice of the Nothic, and your mind jumps back to Secomber and the treehouse that you had built with your father. And then you sort of push the influence aside for a moment. Something sort of took you down a different memory and a different path than you were in currently.
I run back into the stairwell and shut the door.
It's dark, it's quiet, but you don't hear that laughter anymore.
Yeah, I report all of this to the party, and so should we go after this Lord Albert guy, or should we keep pressing on and try to find Glassstaff?
I think the Lord here is our best connection to finding Gundren. However, we also should take care of the Red Brands because they seem like atrocious people. So, and also, it seems like you have some sort of unresolved personal issue with Glassstaff specifically. So, I'm going to say maybe we should do a little bit more reconnaissance in the other part of this cave system, the southerly part, the part where we heard voices coming from. If one of those voices happens to be Glassstaff, fantastic. If one of them happens to be this Lord character, wonderful. If they're just more grunts, we can find our way through them.
Yeah.
I look over sadly, realizing now that my clever plan of locking the door with the padlock is, we gotta go back anyway.
It was a very good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an open stairwell that you could go through. You could go the other way if you wanted to, but the quicker way would be to go through the padlock again.
That way out, though. and I don't want to like come back around to the other side and go,
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the richest. Oh my god.
Then we all
Awesome.
God damn it, Ambrose, let me in. Okay,
big
so new information acquired and a few documents, some valuable gemstones, and some spell scrolls added to your inventories. The rat sort of squeaks its way across the threshold into this room, sort of looks up at the group of you expectantly, and then as it glances at all of you, it just disappears into a small puff of smoke.
I told you all. I told you.
I mean, if it's Glassstaff, he's adorable.
Okay, I'm gonna pull
Make an
Ripper.
Arcana check for me, somebody. Yeah, pull Ripper out.
I'm gonna pull Ripper out of my backpack. Who we just is sleeping
He's
there.
fine.
Yeah,
Sitting in there.
and I'm just gonna put him on the ground and say, "Ripper, hunt."
Make an animal handling check.
Okay.
For Arcana, I got a 18.
I got an 11. So
I have an unnatural 20.
Okay. As you place Ripper on the ground and command them to hunt, they just sort of sniff around the area and then like curl around your legs a few times. And it seems like maybe the command that you had given them was understood, but as they sniff and look around, they don't see or sense anything to be hunted. Additionally, Ambrose, as you take in what you've just seen, sorry, you had an 18, and Oleander, you had a what?
an 11.
An 11. Okay. So yeah, Ambrose, you would know. You've seen a few people pull off invisibility, and there's no puff of smoke. There's no fanfare. It's just this shimmering disappearance. Additionally, your mind races through what sort of magical effects this could have been, and the first thing that comes to mind is a familiar.
That makes sense.
Ah. You think this is Glassstaff's little buddy?
I want a little buddy.
So do I.
But it probably was Glassstaff's little buddy, yeah.
All right.
Listen, maybe if he sees that we were very nice to his familiar, he will give us tips and tricks on how we can all have our own little buddies. Just saying.
If he's in the mood to give us tips and tricks.
Yeah.
I don't know how willing he will be.
We'll find out.
When I get a familiar, it's going to be way better than a rat. Trust me on that.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely. It's going to be so cool looking. Probably like a phoenix with the head of a hot.
Glasses is just going like, okay, what? But what do we do?
Yeah.
So he saw us.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, it seems like now stealth is probably out of the question. If his familiar is going back to him, that means that he's seeing what it's seeing. So we might as well.
Should we go stab those men?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much our only option is to strike fast at this point. Yes, Evan.
Ambrose, with that check where you thought that it might be a familiar, you would also know that the spell to sort of conjure or find a familiar also allows you during the entirety of its presence to see and experience things through that creature's eyes. So you would believe that now that it's gone, it's probably not reporting, but while it was there, it probably was the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little security camera.
Well, I hope that whoever's familiar it was heard us insult their potion setup.
You hear that, Steph? No, I don't actually do that.
The door gets kicked in. Who's there?
I'm saying you suck at potions.
All right.
Yeah, let's get the kicking boots and such.
All that.
All that jazz.
Getting the kicking boots? I'm so confused. All right, what would you guys like to do next?
Not here, Ambrose. You don't even wear shoes.
No,
Are we fighting those men or the Nothic? Or accidentally both at the same time?
Oh, God.
let's go for those men.
Let's go for those human men, because human men are a lot easier to kill than a nightmarish abomination of arcane power.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm pulling out the crossbow and walking back through into the spell chamber. And so are we? Do we have a?
Why don't we
Kicking boots.
We're
We
just
literally just kick the door and rush in?
Yeah.
we're gonna go in there. Do we want
Everybody on the crowd right now, you know?
I mean, there's no downsides to that.
I mean, if stealth is already out the window, we might as well do the opposite of stealth, which is being very, very scary.
I do have one idea.
What's your idea? Does it involve disguise?
Kind of.
This isn't a bad thing. Tell me more. I'm intrigued.
I've got a cheaper idea than this guy's first. Let me just remember my spells.
Another thing that I had meant to say in our little group chat before the game was that when you had left the crypts with the women that you had rescued, you were technically still wearing the red brand cloaks that you had stolen.
Right.
I would say you probably took those off and put them in your bag, so you do have those in your inventories.
Okay.
That could be fun.
Disguise, yes.
Can we plan an ambush?
If only any of us were human.
Oh, right.
I mean, I can
Well,
look
you
on.
Here's up close. I'm a little harder to hide, but maybe you can say that I'm your prisoner or something?
I would say I'd give you my hat, but then I won't have anything to cover my horns.
Yeah, no, that won't work. Put the cloak up over your head. It'll be fine.
I could just say I'm a short human.
Yeah, you're a short human, and
I'm a really hairy one.
to glasses and even hairier. Oh man, this is a weird idea.
Yeah. That's not gonna work, y'all.
Wait, you know what? I bet.
I have
It's
a
only
spell.
Ugh. I was gonna say you cast friends on him, but that only works for one creature, my choice.
Yeah.
And it requires concentration, so I can't just cast it on all of them in a row.
Glass, do you want to pretend to be a incredible magical leader again?
I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I am your god. Just kidding. What's the difference between that and like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say we rush in.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna go
Let's-
and open the door. Bang
Let's rush. Let's keep the cloaks on so we have a moment of confusion.
Let's put the cloaks on and just follow this lead.
Yeah.
Hang on the door and just go, help! The potion station's on fire!
We could blow it up.
And then I go back in the room and I get behind the table with my crossbow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's pretty smart. I'm going with it.
Okay, amazing. So we will roll for that and play out however that works after our break. Give y'all a little bit of time to collect your thoughts and plan for a moment.
It's like, I got a red brand impression.
So, oh, you know what? We just got raided with 33 people, so we've got a bunch of people in here. Let's go ahead and run at least the start of this encounter while we've got some folks in here, and then we'll take a quick break. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay,
Folks,
so
welcome to the Hellcast.
It's going through the
Podcast. We're glad to have you.
A visual podcast with your eyes.
Visual, a Vizcast, a TV show
wow.
from internet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't need to figure it out.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll be
Now's the
good.
time to pick your nose. Let's all do it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right,
As
so we roll for initiative? Oh, sorry.
so you're not kicking the door in. You just banged on it, gave them the information, and backed up. Okay. So
Well,
as you
There's
do
a
so,
fire in the potion room.
fire in the potion room.
make a performance or a deception check for me, if you would, please.
Can I help Glass by creating an instantaneous sound from his point of origin, which is the sound of a crackling fire?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So I will say you get to make this check with advantage then, thanks to thaumaturgy. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
10. Damn it. Why do I suck at... Whatever.
You rush up, bang on the door, declare something about a fire, and then step back into the room and wait for a moment.
Oh no.
Make a perception check for me, someone in this room.
I'll do
Also,
it.
where would you like to be positioned in the room in case they come in?
I'm behind the table.
Okay.
Like kind of on the north side of it, like crouching with my crossbow.
Gotcha. Bree, where would you like to be?
I'll be right by the doorway with my sword ready.
On the right side of it there, in the corner?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ambrose?
I would like to be on the other side of the door from Bree, but one spot to the west. Yeah.
Got it. And then Oleander, where would you like to be?
I will. God, I'm the tallest, so I'm going to be the hardest to hide. I will go around to the western side of the table, just so everybody else has a clear line of fire. You know, I don't want to be in anyone's way.
Can
The door shut?
I also,
Yes.
Sorry.
What would you like to do?
can I use minor illusion and create an image of a pit just in the middle of the room?
We're really fucking with these guys' heads, huh?
Like the element of surprise.
Wow.
Check for me, if you would, the size limitations on minor illusion, because I
5
think
feet.
it's 5 feet. Sure, just right at the door there.
Right. No. So no one can come right up to me. So like on the east side of the table.
Okay.
So in the middle of the room. I want them to come in.
Okay.
What?
Oh, that's a straight line tool. That's not what I need. I need to be able to freely draw. There we go.
Again.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you make a pit there.
I just like the
There you
idea
go.
of someone walking around a fake pit.
Where'd the pig come from?
Oleander's like, no.
You're just like, oh, I was gonna rush at you, but there's this pit in the ground. Okay, so as you hunker down and wait for a moment, it all goes perfectly silent, and you listen. Who made that perception check for me, and what did you roll?
Oh, that was me, and it was a 16.
16. You listen for a moment, and you hear not the door to the room that you're in, but perhaps the one across the hallway. Hello? Okay, you're yelling. All right.
Help us!
As you do, you pause for a moment. You hear the door shut, and then like another few seconds later, it opens again. You hear like, no, I thought it. I don't know. I'm not going in there. That thing's scary.
You gotta help me or I'll die. There's a fire in the potion lab. Come into the room.
I'm just trying to collect myself. I can't. good.
Okay.
You just hear, oh shit! Oh, that staff's doing something weird in there again, and the door shuts again.
Cancel my pit.
What you did learn from that, though, is that they regard this chamber to be glass staffs.
Yeah, that
Okay.
is
So we're in his.
okay.
So we don't have to feel bad about stealing his stuff, basically. And we know that he's in league with the Black Spider.
It sure seems that way.
Think about that.
I feel like we should talk about all this later, and we should go and like
Kick
maybe
their asses.
Yeah, let's do plan A. Go kick the door.
beat their asses. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Bree runs out and kicks down the door with her big boots.
Okay. So you rush forward. What's the marching order here? Who's falling right behind? Just the order of everybody here as fast as you can?
That works.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You rush forward, stepping through where your pit once was.
I canceled my pit.
Yeah, the pit's gone. Great.
Quick question before we get into the room: can I use my staff to like actually knock stuff off the table?
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Just
Yeah,
it feels good.
Yeah,
It is loud.
Hell yeah.
yeah. I was like,
Okay.
excited.
Destruction, baby.
Yeah, disrespect your surroundings.
Chaos, baby.
This guy.
I've got this amazing like slow-mo scene of like Bree kicking the door in and Ambrose like baseball kicking everything over, and Oleander just like lifts a table up and throws it as you like march in and kick the door into this next chamber. You can now see there's a small gambling table piled high with gold and cards, and around it are these 4 red brands, all in various states of intoxication. Many of them surrounded by bottles. One of them sort of like looks up at the group of you, apparently having like just sat down.
This is like straight out of a fucking Tarantino movie. I feel like
It really is, and I need for everybody to roll initiative for me.
Should have come into the room.
Oh, we're rolling initiative.
yes.
Got a 12.
I got a 9.
9, all right. And then Ambrose,
Oh, 12.
12. Bree, what would you like? Or what would you like?
Um,
What would you like? Welcome to McDonald's. What's your initiative?
boy, this is a man who's worked in food service. 19.
19, got it. And Glass.
Big 6, baby.
6. Alrighty, cool. Question for y'all: do you want to start combat, or do you want to take a break? I'm good to go if you are. It's up to you.
I'm all hyped up, so I'm down.
Let's do it. All right, let's fuck them up.
Baby!
So again, as we start off at the top of the order, we have you, Bree, kicking in the door. You have the first move, very much surprising these gentlemen who have heard something, so they don't have the surprised feature. They still get their first turn of combat and everything, but they are sort of just like sitting down and not quite ready for whatever is happening now. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I kick the door in. They're all like sitting down still.
From what you see, I'm gonna scoot you one forward just so you can see into the room, because you would be able to
Sure.
from here, but you can see that there is a total of 4 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
And in addition to seeing them and looking around the room, just the smell of ale and alcohol just hits your nose. You walk in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna run up and take 2 swipes at the one closest to me.
Okay, that'd be 3, right?
Yep.
Go for it. Pull your sword out, coming down hard.
Ooh. That is an 11 to hit.
An 11. Unfortunately, the first one, as you slice at it, the man sort of pushes back from the table and leaning just back on 2 of the chair legs, manages to get out of the way of the sword swipe, but barely. Your sword lands in the top of the table and sends poker chips and money sort of careening up into his face, hitting the wall behind him and raining down on him. He sort of hunkers down. You have your second swing if you want to pull your blade out of the table.
All right, yeah, this is a Tarantino movie. Okay, a little bit better there. That's a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits. Roll some damage.
Okay, 5 damage.
5 points of damage. You come down with the sword this time and catch the man just sort of right on top of the scalp and into the shoulder. The head wound bleeds like crazy, as you know that they do, and he sort of reaches over and holds onto his shoulder, reaching for a blade to pull out. As he sort of stands up and kicks the chair down behind him into the pile of coins that he just knocked down, he will come up and now try to strike at you in retaliation. It's his turn, so let me put the 5 points of damage on him. Maybe not heal him for 5. That'd be bad for y'all. And he is going to attack once with his short sword for a 16 to hit.
That will hit, indeed.
Oh, okay, we gotta get you AC up. That is 4 points of slashing damage as he catches you with the first one, and then he comes back up on the upswing for a second hit. Oops. Dropping my dice on the ground for the exact same thing, another 16 to hit. That one being another 4 points of slashing damage. He just sort of slices at you twice and catches you in the front. You're able to deflect most of it, but it does sort of skin down your arm, leave this a long bloody gash there. With that, this one that's sort of back in the corner now sort of steps back this way, moving around his friends, and makes his way just up and over to where you are, sort of on the other side. He's also going to strike at you. That's a natural 1, and that is a 17 to hit, which does hit you. Another 4. I have rolled a 2 on every single one of these for the damage dice, so that's good.
Ooh. Is it good?
And then as he sort of comes down and misses completely on the first one, he almost loses his balance and just jabs out and does catch you in the ribs with the point of his short sword. With that, Ambrose, it is now your turn, and Oleander, you're on deck.
Okay.
Just jump over me.
Yeah, you can move through allies, you're fine.
Okay.
You can also see through as well.
Use my normal eyes. Could I would like to move from where I am. Would I be able to see the door that's at the southern end of this room?
Let's see. Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to see sort of the edge of the door frame at the very least. Oops, I shut that door.
Okay.
I can't delete this stupid spell square now.
My squares.
That's just clicking on the door. Oh well, it'll be there for a while.
Great. Yeah, that's fine.
Bring the pet back.
I want to move behind R4. Would that leave me open for an attack of opportunity, or?
So moving. Let's see. If you were to move to here, you would be passing within 3's reach. And then if you just skirted around 2, you would only get the 1 attack from 3 until you got up to 4. But you would probably also take an attack from 2 if you got to all the way back here. Or an attack from 1 and 3. So it's going to be kind of hard to get into the room and maneuver around them without them all getting a bunch of hits at you.
Okay. Can I move? What position do I need to be in to attack R3? Would that be to the east of Bree?
If you just moved up to there, you'd be able to see it. The door is open, and it opens sort of away from where he is. Like the door would open towards the table.
Okay.
Need some battle music going on here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Shoot him!
Shoot him with your gun.
Yeah, use your gun.
Use my big gun.
Big gun, wizard gun.
So if I wanted to attack red number 3, I wouldn't be able to because of the door.
No, you can. I'm saying it opens the direction that would allow that. The hinges are on the side opposite of him.
Oh, okay. I had it backwards in my brain. I want to go for him.
It's been a day.
It's been a time. I would like to hit him with my quarterstaff.
Okay, go for it.
Madman.
The wall there does give him just a very, very slight degree of protection. Just bumps the AC by a tiny bit, but other than that, you're good.
Okay. Ooh! It's a nat 20.
Oh, that hits no matter how much wall is there. Go ahead and roll some damage. Do you want to roll your damage dice twice, or do you want to double the single roll?
I'm gonna go up.
Let's double the single roll.
Okay, go
Big
for
number,
it.
big number.
So it's 1d6 plus 4. That's a 4, and then plus 1. That's a. Do I add the 1 before or after the doubling?
So it'd be 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. You do
Okay.
all the additions after the doubling, yeah. So
Okay,
9
yeah.
points of damage against R3. How do you want to do this?
Oh,
Damn.
good.
Tight.
Wizard gets in so many hits.
I love it.
Just I'm all fired up from not being able to fight in the potion room that I'm just swinging as hard as I can, like in the back of my mind, I don't want to hurt people, but the front of my mind, the id is ready to destroy.
Oh boy, that's right.
That tracks.
Sorry.
All right. I don't believe you have a second attack, but you do have the rest of your movement now that you won't take an attack of opportunity from that one, since as you sort of come down with the staff on his head and split it open where it was already sort of cut by Bree, he just sort of walks, his eyes cross a bit, and he just slumps to the ground, sort of broken backwards over the chair that he had kicked over on the ground in this pile of poker chips and coins on the ground. You can now step through or around him if you'd like to, since he's no longer a threat.
Can I kick his body off the chair and stand on his chair?
I am
Always go
stupid.
for
I said a dumb DM thing. Wait, no, yes, you can. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Bree would not be able to.
I'm standing on his body if I can't kick his body over, but
Yeah, I'll say you're able to sort of walk in and put one of your hooves against him and just sort of shove him off of from where he's sort of draped backwards over this overturned chair. The chair and him roll into the corner there, and now you sort of stand on the opposite end of this table, playing that, like, sort of which side of the table am I going to go on game with R1 and R4. Anything else in your turn? Bonus actions?
I'm good. I'm just ready to look scary.
Okay, you definitely do. Your hat is sort of flopped up in the front, and your hair is like sort of sweaty and stuck to your forehead. You've got this like crazy look on your face with your stick in your hand, ready to go. All right,
Coming to the room.
Oleander, what would you like to do?
All right, I'm going to move into the doorway. I'm going to shout, Bree, you might want to duck, honey. And I'm going to shoot Eldritch Blast over her head at R4.
Not too difficult considering you are twice her height. As you sort of,
but still, I want to be courteous.
yeah, lay your hand out and channel that arcane energy and let it rip. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Oh, that's a net 20, baby!
Yes!
Oh, he's dead.
Nice. Okay. Would you want to roll twice or double your dice?
I'm going to double my dice. Thank you
All right,
very
go
much.
big or go home.
Did on that roll +3. So,
Scared of
let's see
us.
what we got. It's a 5 times 2 is 10, +3 is 13 points of damage.
Yeah, you want to do this.
Oh my!
God.
Wow. It is like, because I've also got the the pushback thing on my spell. Also, I just imagined
That's
you
right.
getting like lifted up bodily like he was hit by a cannonball, just colliding with the wall back there.
It is
Like-
some like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit, and he just like flies to the back of the room, slams into the wall. This is the one you wanted to hit, right? 4?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Slams into the wall and comes down. There's that sort of spider web effect from where he slammed into the wall and caused this dent in the stonework, and his body slumps lifeless to the ground. Yeah, y'all know how to make an entrance.
It hasn't been 6 seconds and 2 men are dead.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. It's like just like.
Oh yeah, and also another thing that I actually haven't been mentioning so far. When I reduce a hostile creature to 0 HP, I gain 5 temporary HP. This is something Evan pointed out to me in the Telegram chat that we have before the show a little bit earlier in the week, and I had totally forgot I had it until now.
That's
That's right. As you blast this red brand into the wall and he slams in and slumps down, you just hear this faint whisper in your ear that says, "Oh, well done. I knew you were a good one." And you feel these hands on your shoulders cold, and they sort of squeeze it and give you that sort of "good job, champ," one of those little shoulder rubs. And as you do, you just breathe in deep and feel this renewed vigor flow through you.
Yeah. I was scared for a second. Now I'm jazzed, you know? I'm psyched.
You definitely recognize that voice from your brief trip into that limbo-like space where you had encountered the 10th Lord of Nine. He's watching.
Glad to see management's keeping an eye out for me.
All right. Would you like to move anywhere else on your turn, or just stay where you are?
I'm going to stay where I am, since I think moving into the room will give R2 an attack of opportunity on me. So I will wait for Bree and Ambrose's movements before doing anything else.
Okie dokie. Then with that, it is now R1's turn, who's going to make his way up to you, Ambrose. And you can see this man is just sort of like almost staggering. And as he pulls his blade out, he fumbles it a bit in his hand and goes to swing down at you. They are drunk, so all of their attacks will be at disadvantage. That's a natural 6, so that one will miss. And then the other attack is a... Oops. Wow, 2 natural 16, so a total of 20 to hit, which I think does hit you.
Oh yeah, that hits.
For a total of 7 points of piercing damage as he sort of misses the first time and then, like, almost luckily seems to fall forward with his full weight behind the blade and catches you just under the ribs. You feel that sort of warm blood begin to spread out across your surface underneath your robes and just, like, press into it hard. That's it for his turn. Glass, you are now up. What would you like to do?
Woo! I'm still here.
I'm still on fire!
Well, I will snake my way in through my party mates who are all wedged in the doorway.
Sure, you can make your way. Either way, you're going to be within range of one of them. Do you want to move through Ambrose's space and be in range of R1, or through Bree's space and be in range of R2?
Neither of them have taken hits, right?
R2 has not.
Yeah, I think both of them took hits.
Yeah.
I mean, can I actually kind of just peek around the doorway and say something and then go back to cover?
Yeah, you can like move up and sort of be in the same spot as Oleander and then pop back into this room if you want to. What do you want to do while you rush up?
The hallway. But I'll look in and make eye contact with R2 and say, "You should have come seen the fire, idiot!" I will cast vicious mockery at him.
That's a wisdom save, right?
That's right.
So that is a natural 6 minus 1 for a total of 5. Oh, with disadvantage because he's drunk. Yeah. A 5.
Awesome. Yeah, he takes... I believe. 3 damage.
3 points of
And
damage. Nice.
disadvantage on his next attack.
Got it.
And then I will, I guess, I will look at Bree and say, "I always inspire you to murder," and give Bree a point of inspiration for her upcoming.
All right, Bree, you have Bardic Inspiration now, and it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Awesome.
And watch
I'm
as
gonna-
the one just right in front of you, you hear Glass's voice behind you, and those whispers sort of float through the air, and then the man sort of like staggers back a bit, still visibly drunk, but now also demoralized. What would you like to do?
All right.
He already had disadvantage. Oh well. Shit.
I'm gonna move one space over to the east, just so my party mates can get through the door better. And yeah, I'm gonna take another swing at the one right in front of me.
Okay, go for it. Sort of sidestep, remaining light on your feet.
Damn it!
Well,
That's
okay.
Oh, that's right.
This.
This okay. I rolled a 12.
12, no, unfortunately that misses. What a sidestep, and the man's movements are hard to track just because of his sort of chaotic staggering from the alcohol in the system. You have your second attack if you'd like, though.
Yep, I'm gonna do it. Okay, a little bit better. That is a 21 to hit.
21 does hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
All right. That is 7 points of damage.
Alright. This one is just this sort of large, rotund man with this awful bowl cut and like just kind of severe acne on the sides of his face, bad teeth, and he, as you sort of like dig into him, you can tell that while you're drawing blood and doing a significant amount of damage, you're kind of just scratching the surface and not quite, due to the amount of like sort of padding on this man, not quite hitting internals or doing serious damage yet. He looks a little bit tougher than the rest, but you did manage to make some problems for him in the future. It is anything else on your turn?
Short future.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it for me.
Alrighty, it's now his turn. He's going to swing down on you with his sword. First one is a 10, which I think misses you, and the second one is even worse. That is an 8. And just sort of drunkenly swinging the sword once, and then scowls at you, and you can see his eyes cross. You can tell there, from his point of view, there must be several of you. Misses both times. Ambrose, you are now up, and then Oleander, you're on deck. What would you like to do?
I think I would like to jump from where I am, tucking my head down and ram this poor soul as hard as possible.
Okay. So you just sort of bend yourself down almost like a sprinter and just prepare yourself to launch forward into him, doing what you can to just sort of slam him into the wall. Go ahead and make an attack with your horns.
Let's see. That would be a 10.
10. Unfortunately, you rush up to slam into him, and he sort of catches both of your horns in his hands, and as you rush him into the wall, you can tell that you've knocked the wind out of him. And he sort of breathes and begins to push you off slowly. Not enough to cause damage to him, unfortunately.
I was all excited.
Yeah.
One day.
Anything else on your turn?
Am I like in his grasp, or can I disengage from him?
disengaging would be an action. So if you were to
Okay.
move away from him at this point, you would get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I'm good where I am. I trust my friends to not let me die.
Okay, yeah, you can always like move around him as long as you stay within his reach, but moving out of
Okay.
his reach would cause an attack.
Okay, yeah. Can I stay in his reach and move like south?
Yeah, so as you sort of like bash into him and manage to sort of pry his hands off of your horns, you just sort of slowly just reach back, keeping your eyes locked on him, and push the table out of the way up onto its edge and just sort of circle him. Now sort of doing what you can to split his attention between you behind and the rest of the party where they are. A smart move. All right, Oleander, you are now up. What would you like to do?
All right. I would like to. Let's see. Yeah, the guy facing off with Bree seems like the more imminent threat. So let me aim another Eldritch Blast at that guy.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. R2, to be clear. My dice stuck in my dice tower. Oh, there we go. That's going to be a. Yeah, that's going to be a 14.
Yeah, 14 will hit. That is exactly what you needed to hit.
Oh, thank you.
Roll some damage.
All right. 8 plus 3 is 11.
11 points of damage. God, that's a lot. As you slam into the side of this larger man with the force of your Eldritch Blast, you can see sort of like almost topples to one side. Actually, you can push him because you have that ability. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna knock him back too.
Okay. Bear.
Give Bree a little
10 speed.
Breathing room.
As he sort of staggers backwards and falls against this wall of barrels, some of them you can hear sort of like crunch under his weight, and you can see this pool of ale begin to spill out on the floor beneath his feet, and he just sort of wavers there drunkenly for a moment. Anything else on your turn, Oleander? You now have a clear entry, if you'd like.
Can I? I'd like to ask if I could do something pretty stupid. Can I run up and headbutt R1? Is that too many actions?
You can certainly try.
Let me try. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Ambrose, check it out!" And I'm gonna run up and try to ram R1.
So roll the d20 and
Okay.
add or possibly subtract to your strength modifier. I forget what yours is.
My strength modifier is only a +1,
Okay.
so this probably won't work very well. But I'd like to give it a shot. Yeah, that's going to be a 13.
A 13. You rush up and sort of step over the body and the chair that were overturned, past the upspilled table, all of the coins on the floor, and lower your head into this man who, his attention split between Ambrose and you, just sort of, what's with you guys? And sort of does his best to sort of defend himself against that. This time, just sort of palming the top of your head and pushing it to the side. You slam into the side of the stone. Your horn's protecting you, thankfully, from too heavy of a shock, but as he sort of repositions himself and you withdraw, you are now on either side. Actually, you would have advantage on that because you are technically flanking him with Ambrose.
Oh, do you want me to roll again?
Hit me with their hand.
Oh, hey! Well, what do you know? I got an 18 that time.
There you go. That does hit. You slam into him as an unarmed strike that deals 1 point of damage, but you did make contact with him. Actually, the damage would be equal to your strength modifier, which you said was a +2 or +1? +1. Okay, yeah. So 1
I'm
point of
doing
damage.
1 point of damage.
But I'm really impressed, though.
Yeah!
Actually, I think
Thank
it's 1 + 1, so it is a total of 2.
Oh, 2.
All right.
Nice.
Doubly.
Making moves, baby.
Well
The
done.
man's still like barely catching his breath from having the wind knocked out of him the first time. Just like again, you can see this time a small like fleck of blood appears at the side of his mouth, doing some damage to him. It is now his turn. Oleander or Ambrose, one of you, odd or even.
I'll take even.
Alrighty. That is a 10, so it's even. So he's going to strike at you, Oleander, twice with his sword with disadvantage because he is drunk. It's a natural 1. First one misses, and a natural 3. That also misses. Just sort of swinging at you, wiping the blood off the side of his mouth, and swinging again. Just absolutely missing. These guys are a mess. You are... They appear to be no match for you at this point, and it just sort of slumps back into what might pass at very low levels of combat as a defensive stance. That Glass, it is now your turn as you sort of hide in the hallway and watch most of this go on. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna come around the corner and say, "Can't believe I wasted a good insult on you," and shoot R2 with my crossbow.
Guys, he's sort of leaned against the barrels there, just almost like a boxer at the corner of the ring. Go ahead and fire at him.
The time for wondering about our morals is over. That is a natural 18. So
That does hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Right. That will be 7 points of damage.
Nice. How much did you say you did last time, Leander? I don't think that I
to
added
R2, I
Yeah,
did
it's 11, right?
11, yeah.
11. Okay,
Three
so that means that for you, Glass, how do you want to do this?
Ooh, I will simply treat that comment as my
Okay.
as my give him give him the old shoot.
You pop around the corner and let fire on your hand crossbow, and as such as his head sort of lolls back in dizziness, you just see a bolt appear in his throat, and just he sort of gurgles and slumps to one side, but doesn't go too far because just sort of the shape of his body props him up.
We're safe now.
You are doing some damage. Any bonus action or movement on your turn?
I guess I will just kind of get in position to be like clear line of fire for R1 on the opposite side of the room.
Over there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. And then with that, Bree, it is now your turn. Watching this huge man get blasted away from you into these barrels and then an arrow appear in his throat. His threat is no longer of any concern to you. What would you like to do?
I will look gratefully around at my teammates. And just say, good to have a team again. And I will run up to the table, run up and jump on top of the table and take 2 swipes at R1.
Okay, yeah, easy enough. As you rush up to the table where it is on its side from where Ambrose had knocked it over before, you sort of step forward with one foot onto the other, and as you tip it forward to sort of just ride it back into position, make an acrobatics check for me really fast.
Oh boy.
If this works, it's gonna be so worth it. 14.
14, yeah, you sort of hook the top of your foot on the top of it and press the table over, and just as it's about to land, you shift your weight backward and sort of ride it into position, and then use that momentum to come down with your sword. Go ahead and make 2 attacks. This man, drunk and surrounded by 3 people, I would consider him... He's flanked, even though you're not really on opposite sides, so these are advantage for you as well.
So 20 to hit and then a 10 to hit.
Yeah, the 20 definitely hits, and then the 10 was with advantage.
Oh. Sorry. 19 to hit.
19, that does hit. And then do you want to roll one more time just to see if you get a nat 20, just to be... That's a nice thing about, even if you hit with advantage, you might crit.
Roll one more day.
Okay, cool. So both of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage for 2 sword attacks.
Yeah. Okay. That's 4. And that is 9.
4 and 9 for a total of 13, right?
Yep, that's right.
Now, how do you want to do this?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta kill him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I. just run up to this table and like table surf over, and just at the same time, two swords just both like into this guy's.
Oh,
God, yeah. So you rush up, and as you sort of hook your foot over the top, both swords you sort of flip into a reverse grip in your hands, and you just come down like dual fangs, and just into either side of his collarbone, and the man just sort of like stares at you in the eyes as just lays dead. The room goes quiet, and there is carnage abound. You can hear that sort of like sound from across the room where the barrel is still sort of spilling ale across the floor. You can hear a few of the coins that had hit the ground still spitting, and they come to a stop. This was all about 12 seconds, and a lot of chaos for 12 seconds. I feel like that's a good spot for us to go ahead and take our break for this evening.
yes.
We will be back to resume this. Something that I do want to mention, I don't know if it's been working. Let me make sure that it has been. Oh, it is. Good now. It is. Okay, cool. So tonight, in reflection of current events, we are, in addition to Transgender Law Center, also raising money for Bread for the City, which is a DC-based charity that serves the city's lower-income residents, and they do more things than I can appropriately list or summarize. So if you have any sort of money to spare and are looking for a charitable effort that sort of ties in with everything that is happening in the crazy world today, we strongly encourage you to do what you can to give and donate and support that cause. And then, as always, we are championing Transgender Law Center. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. It is now, it's about 9 o'clock, so we'll be back at 9:15 Pacific. Is there anything anybody else wanted to say or get across before we hop out for a break?
That kicked incredible amounts of ass. Great work, everyone.
Can I run forward and like hold my hand up, like high
We're going
five?
back in character.
Yeah.
Boom! High five.
And it resounds through the silent chamber. That was pretty sick, y'all.
Oh,
Great work. All right, everybody. We'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. everybody. Welcome back. We are back from our break. Thank you so much for rejoining us after we had a little bit of a moment to collect ourselves after such a fun fight. First thing I did want to talk about just before we hop back in is our charity progress so far tonight. We are now at $1,945 for Transgender Law Center. If we can make it to $2,000 by the end of tonight, I haven't really thought about what we could do for you, but I would love to find some sort of an interesting promise that we could make for you as a group. But either way, let's do what we can to get there. That'd be amazing.
Evan, you've been talking about, what's a good reason to do a flip? And I mean, maybe,
It's true. I every time we go on break here, I'm just like, guys, I've been waiting to do a flip, but it feels so awkward to just like do one. So, other than that, we are again tonight championing Bread for the City, which is a Washington D.C. based charity that takes care of sort of legal and fiscal resources for a lot of the low-income folks that live in the Washington, D.C. area, which includes assistance with housing, assistance with getting access to food. I think you also mentioned assistance to like medical attention and that sort of stuff. But if you would like to help contribute to a place that's enduring a good deal of suffering, especially with the light being shown on it with today's news cycle, we do encourage you to please go ahead and donate there. And if you do donate and you would like us to give you like a shout out or a thank you at the end of the stream, we'd be more than happy to. Just go ahead and donate and then send a direct message to our moderator, which is Exploding High in chat. And they will be more than happy to make sure that they write down your donation and any message that you may have to communicate to the audience here. It'll also be immortalized on YouTube forever and all that kind of stuff. So please,
Doesn't have to be a lot. Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
But aside from that and our charitable efforts, which is why we're here, so please do support the stream in that way. We don't ask for any sort of money for what we do here. This is just how we like to spend our time. But we do this for a reason, and that is definitely the reason, is to try to bring attention and more donations to these causes. So anyways, I won't take up too much of your time with that, but let's jump back into today's episode. At the start of the episode, the group had ventured down from this natural cavern that they had found beneath a manor at the edge of this old mining town called Phandalin. In this cavern, they found this large natural crevasse and this strange one-eyed creature called a Nothic that was able to reach into their minds, communicate with them telepathically, and know some of the things that they had on their possession, know about their memories. As they moved away from this creature, they slunk down this set of stairs and encountered a hallway, which I guess you can probably see here on the map. I can move this around and kind of explain today's adventures. As they moved up into this northern room, first at the base of these stairs, they found this alchemical workshop where they realized that all of the sort of various alembics and distillers and vials and burners were all set up to manufacture, or with a very, very high Arcana check from Ambrose, attempt to manufacture potions of invisibility. Ambrose had realized that they had not quite yet cracked the solution to being able to make these. In addition to that, you found a stack of notes and books that all seem to be written in Dwarvish. You found a few valuable alchemical reagents, which Oleander tucked into her satchel. And then you found this tiny rat, which was scurrying around the floor, which you did give some crumbs, and it was very, very cute. Then proceeded into the next chamber, where you found what appeared to be the quarters of the leader of this group of people. There was a chest on the ground in which there were some spell scrolls, a scroll of Charm Person and Fireball. You found a letter on the ground that was addressed to a Lord Albrecht, and signed with nothing but a black image of a spider. which brought to mind the Black Spider, who was one of the entities responsible for orchestrating the kidnap of Gundren at the hands of the kobolds and the giant Clark that you had met earlier in your adventures. And as you sort of searched around this room, you found there was another sort of open passageway at the back, where you had previously heard someone in this chamber. It seems they fled through this passage up into the caverns and then made their way somewhere out of the chambers that you are now in. You are unaware of who that may have been, but the implications of the items found in this room have led you to believe that this Yarno Albrecht, the man who works for the Lord's Alliance, may somehow be in cahoots with the Black Spider and be in cahoots with this Glassstaff figure who is said to lead the Red Brands. So as you continue your investigation, you made your way south after attempting a ploy to draw them northward into the what's the word for it? Into the small makeshift laboratory, which unfortunately was not successful due to the men being quite drunk and engaged in their game of cards. And then busted into the next room and were able to defeat all 4 of these Red Brands, scattering all of their coin and cards and drink across the ground in a battle that was only about 12 seconds long. And as the dust settles and the last of the coins finish turning on the ground and the cards sort of flutter to the ground, Bree, you still sort of stand on top of the table, pull your swords out of the clavicle of this man, and he sort of slumps and slides down the wall in front of you. The battle is won. Ambrose rushes into the middle of the room, and everybody high fives in a most delightful manner. From here, what would you like to do?
Let's pat down these bodies.
Yeah. If I'm still standing on the table, I want to just like reach down and see if any of their like mugs of ale still has anything in it and take a swig.
Okay.
No COVID in fantasy world.
Go and you sort of you pick up one of the mugs that appears to be empty. You do, however, find on the ground most of the mugs are spilled. The ale is gone. Aside from the ale that's sort of spilling out onto the ground, you could go refill it there. But in addition to that, you do find a wineskin that seems to be full of some sort of a rich red, maybe a little bit corked, but still palatable wine.
All right, I'll put that away for later.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice treasure, Bree.
We know it's in the
some
eye
people
of...
like the wine, you know?
Who said that they wanted to poke through the bodies? If you would like to do that, go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Oh, cool. Excellent. I can do that. I know how to do that. Ah. That's an 18.
18. Peeking through and carefully rifling through each of the pockets. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me, Ambrose.
Okay. So 3. And 1.
One. Across the 4 bodies, you only find about 4 gold. But in addition to what is on the bodies sort of scattered around the floor is all of the money that had been bet in this card game, and just sort of scattered everywhere. You wager that, let me see, find this room really fast in my notes and figure out. There we go. Across the floor, are you taking the time to count everything and just sort of taking a breather here after the fight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You sort of scoop up all the money and do a quick count of it. You do find 75 copper, about 55 silver pieces, 22 coins that look similar to the other sort of strange foreign coins that you've found before. You find 22 electrum pieces, 15 gold pieces, and sort of stuck into one of the cards and almost clipped onto it, you find a single clip-on gold earring that is set with what looks like a tiny ruby.
All right.
Nice.
And that's worth about 30 gold.
Cool.
I would wear it, but it's probably like gross.
It's probably been in somebody's ear, yes.
Ew.
Good.
Just kind of wave it around. Just like, look at this.
You can wash it off later if you really want to.
It kind of smells, so I should.
Oh. Gross.
Well, those
Right.
guys are dead now.
Yeah, I feel significantly less conflicted about that now that we know that these people are abducting townsfolk and turning them into slaves.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should fight drunk people more often.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
Right. We still haven't run into our friend Glassass, though. We should probably. I know he hasn't gone far if his little rodent friend is still scampering around.
Yeah.
Do we want to check that southernmost door down there by the dead
I
guy?
think I know where that goes, but I'll go over and open it up.
Make your way forward. Southernmost door, and as you open it and sort of step forward, you can see dead ahead of you is another door, and then, oops, that should be shut. Dead ahead of you is another door, and then off to your left in the easterly direction is a set of stairs that leads upwards, and you could smell that sort of fetid, cold air that you recognize from the cavern coming from that direction.
That's back to the cavern. Okay. I will go back into the room and say, well, there's stairs leading back out to the cave, and another door.
Let's go investigate what's behind that door.
Is anyone missing a lot of blood? I look at Bree, who is missing a lot of blood.
I'm just like sitting on the ground against the wall, just like I feel fine actually.
I mean, I'm also missing a fair amount of blood, honestly.
Oh dear. Let's see. I think I have one more potion of healing if either of you wants to take it.
I think let's hold on to those, and I can
Do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing about blood is that you always make more.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's. Okay. Let's heal. I'll go over and lay hands on her and cast cure wounds.
That's right.
All right, baby. That is 10 points of healing.
I'll take it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah, having blood actually feels really good.
Yeah.
Magical blood transfusion through cure wounds. Yeah, you.
What it is.
Some of the
Canon.
visible wounds on you, especially where you'd been sort of jabbed over the rib, and the large sort of cut in your side, just sort of knit back together, and you're able to sort of brush some of the dried blood off, and you can just see the faintest outline of a scar.
I will take Bree, who is sitting, and just like do the hook, with her hands so she can jump and stand up.
I'm like kind of dizzy for a minute, and then like, "Ah, okay, thanks.
Ambrose, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Okay. If that changes,
Yeah, let us
give
know.
me the old screen.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I think I'll be good.
Y'all ready to go kick down another door?
You've heard.
Always.
Let's listen to what's behind it first, and then we can kick it
All right.
Maybe a
will-
little pit action. Who knows?
Oh god, not another pit.
My favorite thing about the pit illusion, I was thinking, was that Ambrose has mold earth.
Yeah.
Actual pit.
We should put an actual pit under the fake one. So they're like, oh, that's fake. And then they
Okay.
trip mildly.
Good.
Yeah, put that in
Illusion
a
pit.
selective pocket for later.
Yeah, they're like, oh, whatever. This is fake. After they find out, like, oh, another illusion pit. They fall.
We make a real pit. Make it look like there's no pit.
That's called psyops tactics.
Truly.
Gotta psych them out a little bit.
Oh my gosh. This is awesome.
Yeah. There's so many riffs that we can do on it. All right. Okay.
All right, yeah.
Next door.
Yes.
We gotta put somebody in a pit at some point.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
It's inside.
Oleana
Besides-
gets revenge.
Please. I don't want to be the one who always goes in the pits.
All right,
Okay.
I'll take the lead and I'll go down through that door and listen in on the other door.
Okay. Excuse me. Are all of you ready? Ambrose, are you okay?
No.
This and make your way ahead, Bree, stepping over overturned chairs and tables and the cards that were left on the floor, now sort of sloshing through this ever-expanding puddle of ale that spreads out on the floor. You leave very, very quiet wet foot behind you as you make your way up to this door. Now standing at the bottom of it, you can see over the top just the very beginnings of those stalactites that hang from the ceiling far off in the distance from the cave. Placing your ear to the door, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Right? Ooh, it's not great. It's a 10.
And
Neither good nor bad.
what languages do you speak?
Oh boy. I speak Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Sylvan.
From the other side of the door, you hear Drulschlacht, Skiestorinska, Reska. A strange, guttural, and deep language in an accent and language that you don't recognize. Laughter and very, very faint, like sort of sounds.
You want we should get our door kicking boots on again?
Kind of seems that way. Yeah, I'll report back, and it sounds like somebody is hurting somebody in there.
Oh, jeez.
Do you think the guys from the poker game might go try and get these guys to join in? Huh? I could do that. I could be a poker guy.
Are we gonna try this bit again?
What's wrong with the bet?
I mean,
Why not?
Go for it,
All
man.
I'm saying is what we heard. You heard Dorvish?
I
You
didn't
don't
say
know?
that.
You don't know.
we heard a language that none of us recognize. I assume that it's probably not Infernal or Draconic.
If anybody else wants to walk up to the door, actually, you don't even need to walk
Let
up
me
the
actually
door.
listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
you can
check
just
that out.
get into the hallway. As
Yeah.
all of you sort of make your way closer to the door, tell me what languages everybody speaks really fast. Or
I
actually,
speak-
I'll just ask because this is easier than doing that and having you list everything. Does anyone speak Goblin?
No.
No.
Gobos? No, we don't. I don't
Speak halfling, is that close?
Oh, you're gonna make Bree mad.
Goblins are great. I assume. I don't know.
Just a couple of gobbies hanging out. We can boot kick. We can, whatever
Are we all still like covered in blood?
I mean, if our tactic is intimidation, this is the way to do it. Covered in the blood of people we've just killed.
Yes, and please refresh my memory. Before the last pretend fire in the laboratory, did you put on those red brand cloaks?
I don't think we.
Yeah,
I don't think that you
did
did.
not.
Okay. I just remembered it being discussed, but I couldn't remember if you were still wearing them. So you are currently just in your regular street clothes,
Right.
very much looking as if you've just experienced a battle. Both out of breath and sort of gore spattered.
Why don't we get in those red brand cloaks and see if we can pass ourselves off as red brand members? Because
that was our original
if we're dealing
plan.
with humans, you know how humans are. But if we're dealing with somebody who isn't a human, then maybe we can pass ourselves off as like, oh yeah, we're part of the gang too. Why not? Haha.
Sure.
Could just be a person speaking goblin and not necessarily a goblin.
I suppose, but who would they be speaking it to? A goblin, I guess? Another
For
person?
fun, just to flex.
Well,
Maybe.
I do enjoy flexing my knowledge of languages, so I guess I can understand.
Very crappy goblin.
Like, I took Goblin 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll put on the red cloak.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, perhaps they'll mistake my tan fur for skin.
It's dark in here, you know, it's dim.
You never know. Sure, let's put those cloaks on.
Yeah.
Throw the cloaks on and do what you can to disguise yourselves, inhuman as you all are, and approach the door. What order would you like to approach in? Is the order that you are on screen okay, or do you want to change things?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Should I knock?
You want to ask if they want to play cards?
I'm gonna kick the door in.
Yeah, just go for it.
All right, here we go.
I mean, what are you gonna do after you knock?
Yeah. Kick the door is kicked in.
Yeah.
Time to nut up
Maybe
or shut up, as me and Gundry used to say in ballet class.
I didn't see it.
This wasn't good.
maybe
It's happened.
they'll be into it. Maybe they'll like that I kicked the door in.
Yeah.
Salud.
Gesundheit.
You got another one?
I don't know. I cast invisibility.
Sorry, gotta clear the last.
I never came back to the stream after that.
Gotta clear all the dead bodies real quick.
Tommy just
and
died.
We'll do this. Whoever's in here. And then, for all of you, if you're kicking the door in, go ahead and roll initiative for me, and we will address that as you enter. Because it'll be easier this way.
All right.
Ambrose, what you got?
Big old 12.
Bree, what would you like?
What? 16, please.
16? Got it.
Yeah.
Glass.
I'd like a number 23.
Ooh, nice. And Oleander, what would you like?
Also, got a 16. So what do you in
16.
situation?
Ooh.
So in cases of tied initiative, it is whoever has the higher dexterity score usually goes higher. But since you're both on the same team, I will say that whenever 16 comes up on initiative, you can choose round to round who goes first. So if there's any sort of like cool combo attack or anything like that you want to do, I'll say that you can either choose who wants to go first, or, even though it may get complicated sometimes, intersperse your movements, actions, and bonus actions as if they were one turn between the two of you.
Wow.
Oleander throws me into the crowd.
Oh, that's
And then-
awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Oleander throws me and Eldritch blasts me into
It's a
them.
perfect plan. Okay, so as you
Hold your shield up behind you, you can surf on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
kick the door in, you see a small set of barracks before you, within which you can see 4 poorly, roughly built wooden bunks heaped up with blankets. There's dirty dishes and empty bottles sort of scattering the ground, bits of food and detritus everywhere. This room is filthy. There is a strong smell of unwashed bodies and almost like a rotten meat smell that fills the air. It's unpleasant. You can see there are 3 tall, covered in this sort of wiry, bristly hair, humanoids with these sort of long pointed ears and this fur that sort of almost threatens to climb up over the front of their faces. They stand, one of them sort of reclines against the wall to the west, while the other 2 stand over the top of a small goblin, which they are currently laughing at, pointing to, and now that you have some context for the sounds that they're making, it appears they're barking orders to it. And as it sort of sits on all fours and then lays down and then sits back up and then licks their feet, you can tell this poor, small, shaking, long-eared, very floppy goblin. If you can for me, please picture Dobby, the house elf.
Sure. Ahistorically, though. Outside of
Ahistorically, yeah, absolutely. Without the creator ever being purchased or mentioned.
Yeah.
Dobby non-copyrighted indulgence.
That's right. We will infringe on that copyright all day long.
I made up Dobby.
So basically, you see the 3 tall furry humanoids lounging among this mess, barking orders at this sad little goblin that is just demeaning itself for their amusement. Your sudden appearance as you kick the door open and it almost hits the back wall and nearly comes off of its hinges. It sort of does that like and makes its way halfway closed again. You watch as the goblin just sort of looks to the group of you on all fours and just faints and hits the ground. The 3 creatures standing around it, if someone would like to make a history or arcana check for me to identify these creatures. This is all happening within the first 1 millisecond.
Ooh, that is a 14.
Okay. You're not sure if you've ever seen one of these in person, especially not around Baldur's Gate, Oleander, but you've heard stories and seen enough pictures in books. These are bugbears.
Oh.
And your mind immediately goes back to, they have a bunch of tall, furry things with these long ears that they keep for defending themselves, that you remember the woman you had rescued from the prison mentioning to you. It seems you found them.
These guys are the muscle of the red brands.
As they all stop and look in your direction, we're going to go ahead and start combat with initiative. At the very top of the order, we have Glass, then Bree, and Oleander having a shared turn after that. So Glass, looking into the room, from where you are, I imagine it's relatively kind of hard to see what's going on. What would you like to do?
I will poke my head into the door, and I imagine see 3 bugbears. Right?
Yep. Put you there for now, even though you're not actually there.
Thank you. Yeah. And I will look around at them, look at Bree, who's still got some blood on her from the previous battle, and just kind of swipe some and take it in my hand and go, "A curse upon you!" and flick the blood at them and cast Bane.
Okay. On just the bugbears, the goblin too? Everybody? No.
Just the bugbears. I can
Just
only
the
cast it
bugbears.
on.
Okay, gotcha. And is that a save that they need to make?
I believe so. It is a Charisma 13 save.
The first one is a 9 that fails. The second one is a 15, which does beat your 13, unfortunately. And then the third, I threw that all the way across the room. The third one is a natural 20. Better to get that natural 20 out of the way when it's not hitting you.
Truly.
So, Bugbear 1 is baned.
So just to, anytime he makes an attack roll or a saving throw, you have to roll a d4 against their roll.
Correct. Yeah, it is just it's the anti-bless.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And that being done, not as well as I hoping it would go. I will back out of the room behind Bree, and then I will get my trumpet out and play the coffin song. you know, they're like, we're
Good.
I hate this family. Okay, so Glass, you are concentrating on that spell. Just remember that, if you would, for me, please. And with that, as you sort of back into the hallway, I assume Bree trading places with Bree again, even though Bree didn't. Oh, that zoomed in a lot further than I meant it to. There we go. Returning to your original place in the line. Yeah. Bree and Oleander, you have a shared turn. Who would like to go first, and what would you like to do?
Bree, do you wanna go first?
Sure. Instead of blocking the door like I did before, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
On the bugbear closest to the door, closest to us.
Okay,
I guess
so number
3.
1, right? Oh, number 3, the one that's up in the corner there?
Yeah.
Okay. So just to make sure, 3, right? Now that you can see everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that one is Hunter's marked. Good to know. Down really fast if I can pencil. And you are also concentrating.
That's right.
And then what would you like to do? You got your action and most of your movement left. Or actually all of your movement, I would say. Or all but 5 foot if you just popped in to do that.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to I guess I will
twice anyway, right? Because the bonus action.
Right. I will go to the back wall there and and then take a shot at the one that I'm gonna pull out my bow and take a shot at the one I just Hunter's marked.
Okay. You do have an enemy within 5 feet of you. Even though it's not your target, that still makes the shot at disadvantage because Bugbear 1 is right there next to you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, can I shoot at Bugbear 1 before Bree takes her action?
Yeah, so if you want to move back there and then sort of knock it into the wall, by all means. This is why rolling the same on initiative is really cool. So go for it.
Yeah. Let me do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Eldritch Blast, of course.
Cool.
Ooh, that's going to be a 19 to hit.
So
That'll definitely hit. Roll some damage.
Okay. Let's see. 10. Ooh, that's going to be a 9.
A 9 points of damage. That's awesome. Okay, so you slam into the side of it. 9 points of damage. It just sort of grunts, and you can see sort of large teeth that poke out of the bottom of it as its mouth opens, just like the rest of the mouth is full of even more of these sort of long, crooked, sharp teeth. These creatures don't seem particularly smart, but they seem very well built for causing harm. As it flies backwards and slams into the wall, it sort of just lands and sits on the bed and just sort of looks out at the rest of you, wipes the blood away from its snout. Now, Bree, you have room to do whatever you would like to do. If you want to shoot at B3, you may.
Yeah, in that case, I'm going to. I will stay where I am and
Okay.
block the door and take a shot at B3.
Okay, go for it. Roll to hit. You knock an arrow and pull back.
That is a 12 to hit.
12, unfortunately, will miss. As you pull the arrow back and let fly, it just sort of ducks out of the way just in time and does manage to dodge out of the way. And unfortunately, since I told you that it already missed, I said it too soon. You can't use your bardic inspiration.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
yeah.
next time, you totally can. But you did get your hunter's mark off, and you got a shot off, although it missed. Oleander, you have your bonus action and your movement still if you'd like it. Bree, you also have your movement.
I'm just going to, I know it's silly, but I'm going to jump up on the bed that's to the west.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to stay where I am. Since Billy is in a lot of room to breathe this way. Actually,
Bree,
no, I'll step in the door.
okay, just one step up there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Bree, as you sort of jump up onto the bed, even from standing where you are, this creature is so tall and lanky that even sort of slumped over in the bed where it is, you are in like almost parallel plane with its eyes. These things are somewhere between 6 and 8 feet tall, ranging between the 3 of them in this room, and their arms reach almost halfway down to their calves. They have this long, almost gangly build to them. Very, very classic, almost werewolf-style bodies to them. Bree and Oleander, your turns are now done, and we have heard this song already tonight. That's better. It is now Bugbear number 3's turn, who's going to walk up to its closest opponent, which is you, Oleander, and take a swing at you with this large club that it pulls out. And as you get a better view of it, you can see the end of it is tipped with this large iron ball covered in spikes. It is a morning star. And it will swing down on you with a... that is only an 11 to hit, which I think misses you.
Oh, my armor class is 13, so it'll miss.
Yeah, as it swings down, you manage to sort of step back through the doorway just in time, and the Morningstar comes and smashes down on that sort of travertine tile on the floor and leaves this large impact crater where it was, and the Bugbear sort of looks up at you with both eyes, these glowing yellow, and just snarls at you. That is it for its turn.
Might give us a little more trouble in the poker, guys.
This one is also going to move up to you, being the closest target in the room, and swing at you as well. That is that's also an 11. I rolled 2 natural 7s. The second one, similarly, you sort of dodge out of the way of it, and it manages to hit nothing but air. The goblin is still asleep on the floor, or fainted or passed out. And it is now this first one's turn, who is going to make its way forward. Bree and Oleander, odd or even?
I'll take odd.
That's a 5, so that is odd. So it's going to go ahead and swing at you, Oleander, then with a... let's see. The 10 plus 4 is a 14.
Oh, that one does hit.
We're out here.
Oh, minus a d4 because it is baned.
You too.
Thank you, Glass.
So what did I say? 14?
Yeah.
Minus 3 is an 11, which misses you.
My spell did something. My spell did something.
As it goes to swing down on you with its Morningstar, you just see its eyes sort of glaze over with this red color that almost reflects the blood that Glass had sort of spit into its face, and it just sort of seems to like lose sight, and it rubs at its eyes for a moment and just misses the shot at you. Yeah, that's it for that one's turn as well. With that, Ambrose, it is now your turn, and Glass, you're on deck. What do you want to do, Ambrose?
Okay, so quick questions I wasn't able to figure out with a quick Google. If I cast Sleep, would that interrupt the Bane effect going on?
It will not, no.
Okay.
Unless you were the person casting Bane, because sleep is also concentration. Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah.
Okay.
However, one thing to remember is that with sleep can be interrupted by damage.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can wake something up by damaging it, but not the other way around. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to cast Toll the Dead then.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all in range. Oh, thank
Move you up here to where you can see them, and now sort of peering into the next chamber, you can get a glimpse at them. Actually, I can move you if you want to, so that you're not within range of 3 through the door there. I would say from where you are there, unless you want to move up and be within possible range of an attack of opportunity, you can see 1 and 2.
I'll attack number 2.
And that's a what kind of a save?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I need a support.
That is that's a 9. That fails. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Ooh, okay. Is that one missing any hit points yet?
That one has not yet been hit. The only one that's been hit is number 1, which is also baned, which would have helped with your save, but you didn't need it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 7.
7 points of damage. Nice.
Yeah, necrotic damage.
All right. Is this? Click on 7 points of damage, please. Character sheet, do damage. Thank you. There we go. As this sort of tolling sound echoes throughout the chamber, you watch as this one's face just almost tightens and almost ages before you. You can see this like pulse of necrotic energy flow through it, and it just sort of winces for a moment with pain as you can tell that it's almost hearing something that no one else can hear in the room. Anything else on your turn, Ambrose? Bonus action movement.
I'll stay where I am. I'm good.
Okay, cool deal. At the top of the order, then we have Glass, and then Bree and Oleander, you have your shared turn after that.
I will. Can I see Bugbear 2 from where I'm at?
If you just pull up to where Ambrose is and then pop back, you can. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'll just do that. And I will, to Bugbear 2, just say, how do you like those bells? And cast vicious mockery at him.
Okay. And that's a... Nope, that's a natural 4. It fails. So go ahead and roll your damage, and then it has, disadvantage on its next attack.
Big 2, baby. Can't wait to be a higher level so that spell does a little bit more damage.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure that the disadvantage effect wasn't concentration, so that your Bane didn't drop, but it's not, so you're good. So 2 points of damage, and disadvantage on its next attack. Very smart.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, it does not mess with your friends. Why can't I click on these little dudes and hurt them? Beep. Cool. Anything else on your turn, Glass? Bonus action movement.
Nope. I will just get back into position and enjoy my life back here.
Awesome. All right. Bree and Oleander, you have a shared turn. What would you like to do?
I have an idea for a. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. This civilian group. Bree, did you have any bright ideas to start off with, or?
Well, what I really want to do is, since I've got the one next to you, Hunter's Marked, could we do some like acrobatic, like switchy, changey places?
Sure.
You can also do that as a halfling, right? Can't you?
I can just fully move through Oleander's space. That's right.
Yeah, I could just sort of, leap over your back, and then you could take care of B3 and I could zap B1.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, let's
So we'll give him the old switcheroo here. As you do that, Oleander, you are you actually shifting to that space, or are you just allowing Bree into yours and then going back to hers? Because if you move to over there,
I'm coming up on the bed.
okay, because you will take an attack of opportunity from B2 and B3.
Oh shit. Fuck. Well, then I'll just let Bree into my space then.
Okay,
You just
that works fine. Yeah, stay where you are. That's better. And then Bree, you can just sort of jab through and tap 3 since it's 100 mark twice if you'd like to, and then move back.
That's right. That's what I would like to do. Oh, that's
Something else
nothing.
now.
Oh,
Um,
halfling trait where you roll a 1, get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I know. Thank you.
Very good.
I'm sorry. We're doing great over here.
Well, right.
Okay. That is an 11 plus. That's a 16 to hit.
16 will hit. That is exactly what you needed to hit.
All right. Oh, jeez. Good to know.
Mhm.
All right. That is 7 points of damage. 8 points
Plus
of
your-
damage.
Yeah, plus your hunter's mark.
Oh. What is that?
It's an extra d6.
Extra d6. Okay.
Wow.
Plus 1. So what did I
So-
say before? 8. So it's a 9.
9 points of damage. All right, cool. 9 points of damage to B3, and then for your second attack, or was that both attacks?
What's that?
For your second attack, or was that both already?
No, that was just 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is a 18 to hit.
18 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh,
12.
12. Wow,
Plus-
nice.
15 actually.
15. Either way, how do you want to do this?
Oh, hell yeah. All right. I love this. I just like dive like through Oleander's legs and just like
truly a gremlin.
yeah,
Built to play a halfling.
yeah, yeah. Love it. And yeah, like just jump up and I'm gonna like gravity boots run up this creature and just take 2 swipes like right at its eyes.
Okay, so as you rush through and like Rockstar slide on your knees through the between Oleander's legs and then pop up and just sort of like take 1, 2 kicks off of its body and then come down with both swords. The entire thing just sort of takes both sword strikes, stumbles backwards, and falls into the bed, asleep.
Did you just Shadow of the Colossus, a motherfucker?
Yeah, that happened.
Looks like one too.
I love adding the power slide in. That was a good. Like,
Okay, and then as you sort of pop back through after doing this, sort of Oleander leans to one side and allows you to just do that sort of roll over the hood of a car that you would do back into your appropriate space.
Good.
Oleander, you now have your full turn. What would you like to do? You have this one right up in your face, and the other one has just been knocked to oblivion off to the side.
Right, cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take aim at we'll say B1, and I'll be like, "Take this, you overgrown toupee," and I stab another Eldritch Blast off at him.
Alrighty, so that will be with disadvantage because you are within 5 feet of 2 creatures
Yeah,
that are threatening you.
yeah.
Okay.
Wow, one was a nat 20, but since it's disadvantage,
That's the worst.
plus, oh no, that'll be a 19. 'cause,
19? Yeah, that'll definitely hit still. Nat 20 to 19, yeah, that's rough.
Oh,
Disadvantage
oh,
really messed with you there. Go ahead and roll some damage.
oh, And let's see, 1d10 plus 3. It's going to be 9 points of damage. And he gets pushed back onto the bed.
And that's B1? All right. Slam him into the wall. He again finds himself sitting on the bed. Just makes his way forward. Now angry. I didn't hear. Sorry.
I'm going to mess up his bed, if nothing else.
And sorry, how many points of damage did you say again to him? 9. Got it. Cool. He is now considered bloodied. So great work. That was a fucking cool turn. I love it when players get to do those tandem back-to-back turns. Okay. Any bonus actions or more movement for either of you before we move on? Bree already used her bonus action for the other attack.
Yeah, I am going to. I can run pretty far, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have like 30, maybe 35-foot movement, and this room's only maybe 15 feet wide. So.
B2's going to get a swipe at me if I run. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to run over to jump on the southeastern bed, the corner of that. Just give me a little more space between B1 and B2.
Okay.
Would I be able to do that?
B2 does get a swipe at you, but it's with disadvantage because of the vicious mockery from Glass from before, right? Was that from a previous round, or is that correct?
That hasn't been used yet.
Cool. So he is going to swing at you with a natural 13 and a natural 19, which is going to be a total of 17 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Alrighty. As you leap away, trying to get yourself into a better position on the bed, he does swing at you and catches you in just sort of the...
No, I said the southeastern one, the other bed on the other corner of the room.
Oh, okay. So you're not even leaving his range then. You're just moving around him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, then I'll just let you do this over the top edge here, and you can just step over the pass out.
Yeah, I'll jump over the goblin. It's fine.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go.
So no attack of opportunity. That's good.
Okay. Well, then I'm fine right here.
Cool. With that, then, it is now the one who you just sort of made your way around. It is his turn as he sort of watches you circle around him. He's going to come in and take his attack at you, this time with disadvantage. That is a natural 14 and a natural 2 this time. I guess that's double disadvantage because I rolled it twice, but that's okay.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I figured you might. I thought you might let it slide a little bit. Yeah, so the natural 2 does not hit you. And I think that's it for its turn. Yeah, it only gets 1 attack per turn. And now it is the goblin's turn, still passed out, and now B1's turn sort of pushes itself off the bed and makes its way forward up to you, Bree, with just death in its eyes as it sort of steps up over with one lanky leg onto the edge of the bed frame and then just tries its best to leap up and smash you down against the wall and sort of into that crack between the headboard and wall. It's going to swing at you with a... God, I can't fucking roll for these dudes to save my life. A 12?
That will not hit.
Was that with the Bane there?
Oh no. With the Bane, it's a... I lost my tiny caltrop. With the Bane, it's an 8.
That certainly does.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Not one of these has hit you. That's good because they do a lot of damage. Ambrose, you are now up. What would you like to do? And then Glass, you're on deck.
I would like to... Yeah, I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead again on B2. I'm gonna make his life really uncomfortable.
Go for it. So that is Wisdom save. Oh my gosh. I've never rolled so many 8s in a battle in my life, but that is an 8 total.
Oh, well, sucks for that guy.
So he has lost hit points already. He's not at his total, so you to get your D12.
Ooh! That's an 11.
Nice!
Nice.
Finally.
Significant amount of damage, but he's now bloodied, still alive, but bloodied. Looking rough. Both of them are kind of looking as if they're about in the same state. and then the goblin's just still sort of cast out on the ground. Anything else on your turn, Ambrose?
You know what? Yeah, I'll move into the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Join the fray.
Blood.
Do you want to be where I put you, or somewhere else?
Can I go 1 block to the east without then taking an attack of opportunity, or?
Eastward, you would get one from B1, who has not used its reaction yet. Yeah.
Okay.
You would
Yeah,
take
I'll stay
one.
where I am.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, it sort of have a very advantageous position around this doorway here. All right. With that, then, Glass, it is your turn as you continue to sort of concentrate and hold your bane and make B1's life a living hell. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. I think I'll not wanting to miss out on the party. I'll reach in, sneak my head in the door, not stepping into Ambrose's space, but keep it there. And can I get a good shot in at B2?
Sure.
All right, I will crossbow. Cast crossbow bow. Oh, I think it's a 12.
Yeah, and then you would normally get advantage with a melee attack, but it is ranged, so yeah, unfortunately a 12 does miss. It does duck out of the way. Yeah, that's not hard enough to. It's not as bad of a roll as it might hit Oleander, so you're okay.
Oh,
I would do that on like a 1 or a 2 maybe, but
okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Anything else in your turn? You have your bonus action and the rest of your movement.
I'm out of ideas, and I'll hide around the door.
All right, duck back into the stairwell.
On my thing. Just giving B1 the finger. Just
You pop it and shoot your thing, and just sort of like fade back around the door.
I missed on purpose.
Man.
All right.
Okay.
Oleander and Bree, you have your shared
Bree.
turn. Who would like to go first?
I will say I have kind of a fun idea. I want to do another Eldritch Blast with disadvantage, but it's fine. But I want to see if I can knock B2 into B1, giving B1 bludgeoning damage. And then you
Okay.
can like a pair of bowling pins, then you can just cut him down to size.
Really is like playing pool. Yeah.
Sure. I'll make some saves for them to see if they take that kind of damage. Why not? We'll play with it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks here. This is freeform jazz.
So as you sort of step off the edge of this bed here and plant a foot on either side of this unconscious goblin and cast with disadvantage your Eldritch Blast right in the face of B2, go ahead and make that attack with disadvantage.
Ooh. That's gonna be a 12.
A 12, yeah, unfortunately getting right up in its face, it manages to sort of not. It watches as the spell begins to build in your hand and knocks your hand out of the way, sending the bolt like careening into the ceiling and just leaving a small hole of plaster and cement up above you that sort of drains down on Ambrose's head. You sort of brush some of the stone out of your hat and hair.
Dusty.
Unfortunately, that does miss. Do you want to do anything else on your turn, Oleander?
Yeah, I'm going to look defeated for a moment and just be like, well, fuck you too. And I'm just gonna like try to backhand him with a unarmed strike.
Can you do that as a bonus action? No, not with a spell. You would have to take the attack action first, and you did a spell as your action.
Oh,
So unfortunately, yeah.
Did
I let you do it with a headbutt earlier just because we were doing a fun story thing, but yeah. Yeah, that's okay.
I just I don't do anything else, but I will crouch down to try to protect the goblin.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just sort of making yourself as between this bugbear and the goblin as you can.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to protect the goblin.
Cool. I'll just put you on top of the space there. And then Bree, you have your full action, bonus action movement. What would you like to do?
Yeah. I'm gonna move my hunter's mark over to E1, the one in front of me.
Okay.
Who apparently were just standing on the bed together, which was really funny.
Two little
Bed fight.
monkeys jumping on a bed.
So yeah, I'm gonna move Hunter's mark over, and then I guess then I can only take one swing at him.
Yeah, because moving your hunter's mark is a bonus action.
Right.
Can you do that
Okay.
whenever you want, or is it only when it's dead? I forget. Hex and hunter's mark are different.
When the previous target dies, I can move the mark.
Oh, and you had done it to 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, you're fine.
So yeah, that's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Okay, 9 points of damage.
Is that with your hunter's mark?
Jeez, I'll never remember it. 10.
10. Oh, so 10 more points to B1. How do you want to do this?
All right.
At exactly 10 hit points left. So good thing for that hunter's mark.
Ah, thank you, Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, again, gravity boots up, and on the edge of the bed with this guy, I'm gonna say, like, there can be only one. And I'm gonna stab him and kick him off the bed.
As he slow-mo falls back like Mufasa and Lion King, all of 2 feet to the ground. Yeah, he is indeed dead from a large stab wound and laying on the floor, sort of like strung up between the bed in the corner and the one that you had just pushed him off of. But no longer a threat and dead.
Only one monkey on the bed.
Apparently.
The greatest
All right,
ape of all.
Repaid. With that, Oleander, you got your bonus action?
I already did my turn, so don't worry about
Okay,
me. I'm
cool.
protecting the goblin.
Alright, with that, it is then that Bugbear's turn, who would have been facing you in order to sort of deflect that that Eldritch Blast that you had just shot at it. It is going to swing down at you with its Morning Star with a... That is a 13 to hit.
That hits.
I didn't roll an 8 this time, I rolled a 9. Yay!
Hey.
As it does come down on you, this thing is heavy, and you just feel the impact of it almost crunch your bones, in addition to the pain you feel from the spikes digging through you. That is going to be 15 points of piercing damage to you.
Oh, wow, glad I got those bonus points earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, I, with pain coruscating through my body, I grit my teeth, clench my hand into a finger, and cast Hellish Rebuke on this guy.
Okay. And that's what sort of save? Dex save?
It is a dex save. Dex save of 13. I point my finger, and the creature that damaged me is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
So it is a nat
when I
20,
cast the spell-
unfortunately. So it does take
Oh.
half damage, but you can go ahead and roll your d10, and we'll do half damage for that one.
Sheesh. Just my luck.
Very rude.
Well, it takes 3 damage.
Hey, that's still damage. It's
Yeah.
damage on a reaction, which is always a bonus. Okay, that marks the end of that creature's turn. Goblin is still standing beneath you. As you sort of were pummeled down into the ground by that last hit, you managed to sort of maintain your stance over the top of this, and thankfully did not allow this creature to be hurt. It is now your turn, Ambrose, after seeing Oleander take a very heavy hit from this Morning Star. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna sound like a what is it, an old record or whatever, but I want to cast Witch Bolt again. Or no, not Witch
Okay.
Bolt. Shoot.
Toll the dead?
Toll the dead. Listen,
Okay.
it's late.
That's smart.
Toll
No,
the dead.
that's good because witch bolt's an attack, so it'd be with disadvantage. But
Yeah.
Toll the Dead's a save, so it's not.
Yeah.
So
It's cool.
are you Josh and me? That is another 9, which I have rolled nothing but 8s and 9s for these dudes and nat 20s, and that's it the whole time. So yeah, that is a failed save, and he's missing hit points. Roll that d12.
Ooh. I would like for him to die. Oh, 6.
6 points of necrotic damage as this sound sort of reverberates throughout the room, and you watch as his skin just sort of tightens, and there's this visible aging on his face. He just begins to ease down, barely alive, hanging on to the last sort of glimpse of light in his eyes. Anything else on your turn?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. With that, it is now your turn, Glass, and then Bree and Oleander, you have your turn after that.
All right. I will kind of seeing how stacked the odds are, like as I'm like watching around the corner from my hiding spot. I'll pull out my rapier. And, it's my turn to be cool. And I will
Perfect.
run in and get into flanking position with Oleander and try to do my cool slide into him.
Okay, yeah, as you rush through, just sort of pulling out your rapier and just shoving Ambrose out of the way as you rush in. You slide on your knees and go in for a stab. Go ahead and make an attack with advantage if you'd like to.
Oh,
A lot better.
it was a 3 and a 20.
Oh, so that's a nat 20 then?
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, do you want to double the dice or roll twice?
I'll double.
Okay.
All right.
Choice.
That is a total of 15 damage.
15. He had this many hit points left. How do you want to do this?
Ah!
You do get your cool moment, Glass! Go for it!
Yes!
Let's go!
Do it, Glass!
Do it!
I'm cool. I say that. Stab him with the rapier like through the bottom of his chin and rip his head off.
As you rush in and just sort of push Ambrose to the side and just come up under the chin with like an uppercut with a rapier, it goes through the chin, and you watch as his mouth opens in surprise. You can see the blade of the rapier through his mouth, and then it just exits the top of the skull, and a little chunk of skull and fur and blood just out of the top of it. And as it gets a little stuck, it doesn't quite go any further. And as his body begins to fall, you realize you're still holding onto the rapier. Sort of almost takes you down with it. You slide it out, and it's just covered in viscera and innards. Yeah, these critters are dead, and Oleander, you're still standing on top of a very unconscious goblin.
Awesome.
Wow, y'all.
Yeah. And I like.
If this is what level 2 is like, I'm so excited for the rest of this campaign.
I feel like at level 10 we're going to be like leveling cities or something.
Oh god.
Real. Okay,
Awesome.
so as you sort of step back, Oleander, allowing this creature that is sort of just like lightly breathing and almost seems to be peacefully sleeping on the ground, a little bit of breathing room. In the quiet after the battle, what would you like to do as a group?
Can we like?
Should probably wake this goblin up.
Can we carry her out of here?
It's a pretty small creature. You could probably just pick it up and throw it over your shoulder.
Yeah.
The audio is really funky. You got really quiet all of a sudden. I'm not sure why.
Weird. Yeah, my mic should be working fine.
There you go.
And now it's good again.
Yeah, I paused my music. I don't know if maybe it was the frequencies in that particular song that Discord thought it was our voices, but I'll just change the song over. Sorry about that.
Strange.
Anyways, yeah, I'd like to pick her up and we can carry her out of here. If we can't find the wizard, we can at least get a rescue in, you know?
Okay. As you throw this small, seemingly lifeless form over your shoulder, it is maybe even 6 inches or so shorter than Bree is, standing at maybe 2'6", 2'8". Stumpy, poorly clothed in just a very sort of simple, filthy loincloth. Toss it over your shoulder, and you have the exit ahead of you. Where would you like to go? Well, I guess on your way out, you have 2 directions ahead of you. You have back into the room where you had fought the men playing poker, and then you have an exit to the east that leads back into the large cavern.
We could just circumvent that little dork with the bridge and just take the secret exit through Glass Jaws. I keep calling him mean names. Glassstaff's bedroom to get out of here.
That's right. Yeah, I like that idea.
That sounds good.
Is there anything in the room that we want to check before we go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that real quick.
Make an investigation check, someone for me, please.
I'll do one. Does anyone want to help?
I can help.
Or
Yeah.
Ambrose can.
11 for me.
23.
20?
Yep.
Wow.
Helping so much.
Wizard shit. Doing cool wizard shit.
Yeah.
You glance around the room for a moment, and the room itself is still just full of all the sort of trash and bottles and food items and crumpled up blankets, and it stinks. As you poke around just for a brief moment, all you get is just whiffs of worse and worse things covered up by the blankets, and you rightfully assume that there's no other objects of value there. But on the bodies of the bugbears, you can see that 2 of them appear to be very, very, that's what I'm looking for, frugally adorned, in that they pretty much only carry the weapon that they had and a very simple sort of a belt with a few pouches on it. The other one seems like it's wearing this sort of a sash over one shoulder, just made out of simple cloth. No more than what you would see at like a frat party, toga party sort of a thing. Nothing fancy by any standard, but in a small pouch on one of its hips, you do find a small belt pouch that has 33 silver pieces in it. And then sort of on his forehead, what you had thought was a headband the whole time, as you get a little bit closer, you see on the side there's almost like a piece of fabric in the middle of the headband. And as you sort of flip it down, you realize that he has an eye patch that clearly he has both of his eyes, but it looks like this was probably a trophy taken from some poor unfortunate fool. It looks like it's crafted out of black leather, and set into the eye patch itself are a few semi-precious stones. It looks like it's relatively valuable and well crafted. It's worth about 50 gold.
Okay.
Cool.
Eye patch for us.
Well, if one of us loses an eye, at least they'll be losing it in style.
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead and make a roll. As you begin to sort of throw this creature over your shoulder and make your way out, you hear put me down!
Oh, sorry. I put the goblin down.
You just very lightly sort of lift the goblin down onto the ground. It sort of just like scrambles up onto one of the beds and just sort of grabs a blanket and tosses it over most of its body. You can see just its eyes peeking out over the edge, two floppy ears on either side poking out, and it's just sort of sitting there shivering. It brings to mind small hairless dogs.
Oh. Sorry to pick you up like that. We were going to carry you out to rescue you. It seems like those bugbears are giving you the hard time, and we consider ourselves we don't
Murderers.
like it when people are mean to other people. Yeah,
We don't like it so much that they're dead now.
they're very dead. Yes.
Sort of glances around the room and takes a peek at the various bodies that sort of lay strewn about it, and just like sort of ducks back down. So you're not gonna kill me, is you?
No, of course not. No, we can take you back into town. We can drop you off somewhere else. You do whatever you like.
You're still gonna get paid.
Oh, well,
Why don't you tell us about it?
yeah.
But let's leave here. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure the folks here in Findlin are gonna take kindly to one of my ilk running about.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Speaking of which,
Were
they
you hired?
take kindly to one of you running about, and sort of like seems to sneer and look way up at you, Oleander.
Yeah, I feel that there are many in town who have not. That's it's something I've had to get used to, but whatever. We ended up killing those people later, so it's fine.
Seems like it's a pretty good way for you take care of your problems. So I guess I should introduce myself. You call me Droop.
Yeah.
Just sort of
Hi,
holds
Drew.
out
It's
this
a pleasure.
small hand.
I'm Oleander, and I kind of do a little shake with the tiny hand.
As he reaches out to shake your hand, there's like a sort of involuntary tick that you notice sort of ripples through him every few seconds. But aside from that, he just seems like a normal, very frightened goblin. I mean, I think the group of us are going to be probably pretty good close face friends, huh? Can't wait to hear about how you got in here and well, I guess what you did to the rest of the people here.
And we can't wait to hear
Your story.
pretty much, how you got in here. Yeah, we're looking for Glass Staff, the head honcho around these parts, and if you have any information pertaining to that, we would love to hear it. And it's although if you don't, that's also fine. I don't want this to feel transactional. We're rescuing you, to be clear.
I don't think I've ever been rescued before.
Yeah. So
That
we
sounds
do-
kind of nice.
Yeah, we do it all the time. Here, I'll give you one of my business cards. Flick, and like I'm working on like sleight of hand magic, so it like kind of just goes like whoop, and it's
Pops out. Wah!
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not magic actually. It's a little hand trick. Anyways, you can take that in case you ever tell your friends about us, tell your enemies about us. We do this kind of thing for a living.
Well, I can't read, but is it worth money?
Maybe to the right people.
Someday.
It's a deal.
If you tell your friends, then yes, it
Sort
is.
of tucks it into the waistband of the loose loincloth that he wears and stands up and just sort of brushes himself off and well, I got some stories for you then if you want to hear about this place.
Sure
As he
do.
begins to sort of stride towards the door, with all of you and your attention focused on Droop the Goblin. That's where we'll pick up next week. With Droop and his story about his experience here in the extension of the Tresendar crypts.
Droop.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Oh, Droop.
Troop.
Classic
Oh,
Drew.
Troop.
I'm realizing that
Hey, today was fun.
that was awesome. I was just
Yeah,
gonna say,
that
I'm
was
realizing
great.
that as a DM, I have a tendency to give every party tag along characters all the time, and then as soon as I do it, I'm like, why did I do that?
Now you gotta do a voice.
But it's perfect. I'm excited. You get to hang out with Droop and hear his story next time. Thank you so much, everybody who's stuck with us for tonight's episode. It is pretty late. We ran almost 40 minutes overtime today, but time flies when you're having fun. Hopefully, all of you are staying safe and being well out there. As always, please check out our charities that we're supporting. Is there anything anybody else wants to mention before we say goodnight?
I wanted to tell everybody who's watching. I know you can't see it, but there were so many times during this episode that I thought Evan was gonna knock his green screen over. He just like laughed or like gestured.
Yeah, you came close a couple of times.
It's way back there. It's a long ways back. Yeah, I have almost a full arm's length.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Good. I won't worry anymore then.
Oh, trick of the eye. Oh.
You're messing with my mind.
It's also suspended from like clips and stuff, so it's good.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds.
Thank you for
safe.
your concern. Sounds very safe. Yeah. All right, everybody. Take care. Be good. Oh, I'm silly. We need to go through donations for the evening before we log off.
yeah.
Thank you.
Almost completely forgot it. Refresh our Tiltify page. Let's see what we got today. Why is this a weird page I've never seen before instead of the one I'm used to? Dashboard. Okay, they redid their entire UI and now I have no idea how to read it.
Oh, good. I love that.
What a wonderful prank for them to play upon us specifically.
This was cast upon me as a spell. It'll be fun.
Oh, dear.
I don't know what to
do
do. Why would you do this?
Thank you to everybody who donated. We appreciate your generosity. We will
Truly.
read messages at the start of next week's stream once we figure out how to actually work this website.
Oh, did you find it?
I think I figured it out. Okay, I
Okay.
did.
Um,
I think this is probably a good sign. We had a lot of people in here tonight, and as far as I can see here on Tiltify, we only had the one donation, but that was $20 from my boyfriend again, Coy. Thank you so much as always.
Thank you, Coy.
Which I think means that the majority of the donations that we earned tonight went to DC to
Wonderful.
the
Thank you
charity
very
of
much.
choice. So thank you for that. Hi, if you are here and still in chat, if you want to unmute for a moment, was there anybody who had DM'd you who had mentioned any sort of donations they'd made?
Hi.
I think we might have lost them, but
Oh,
that's okay.
in chat.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, hello.
Chat messages to mention.
Oh,
Yeah, please go for it. You do the honors tonight.
No, we didn't have any. No whispers.
Oh, we didn't have any. Okay, I'm sorry, I misheard.
Fine.
Okay.
Well, cool deal. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here and being a part of this. We appreciate you. Stay safe, be good, and we will catch you next week. And then we have our 2-week break. So please do remember that we only have one more episode left for I think all of January. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So don't miss it.
That's right. All right.
You'll regret it so much.
If you miss it.
This is how we get you to watch our show. We just threaten you with regret. All right.
Yep.
Night, everybody.
You won't regret it if you miss it because we have the VODs available on our YouTube page.
That's
You can pick up
right.
immediately.
Right.
And scene. All right. Love you, everybody. Bye. Good night.
Bye.